it really just like a fish out of water. You know, it was such a harsh introduction to playing at this level, in my opinion. He only plays, I think, 5 maps quite literally in total, which is, you know, a little bit unfortunate, and then gets replaced by Tiger, who is now AWPing, and that then moved Kaze off the bench, and they've brought in Marek, who used to coach this FengDa roster. I don't know with Rare Atom. This feels like some like weird cooking roster changes, but hey, if it works, and if Tiger can fill a big gap that Kaze is left now with fragging, and if Marek can be more consistent than Trash, then I'm all here for it.
We'll see if it does come to fruition as we kick off our first map here in the series, and already blood has been drawn with these very early trades. Oh, that's snappy from Child King. You can try and make that a third there. Marek steals that kill, but ultimately it's another one in the bag. Now only 2 players remain. They have managed to kind of worm their way up towards the B site. Now, Biuckmt trying desperately to just hold the line a little bit longer, but eventually will fall. So 3GL gets into position, but it's a little bit late at this point. They haven't actually been able to clear out the site. He's not really going to have an opportunity to get through this window. There's still a minute left, but they all know where he is, so they can all just kind of aim down sights at him. And he shouldn't be too much longer for this world. Nice shot from Tiger. And that's all she wrote for round 1.
A good start, and to be honest, I could imagine this series being a pretty dominant 2-0 for Tyloo. I want to talk about Tyloo, but no, this is Rare Atom. The reason why I had Tyloo on my mind, bit of Freudian slip, is because when I was covering that Fisher Playground 1, the big talking point was that like Rare Atom maybe falling out of contention of like who's the best in China, right? You have Tyloo and Lin Vision, and then Rare Atom have really secured themselves as that third best, and that's not a good thing. You know, they've been overdone, outperformed by their counterparts, and I think what's good for them in these tournaments, be winning them, is that they probably wouldn't make Pro League otherwise, and they don't have the best in the region playing at these events. Like, they lost to Lin Vision in the first grand finals, which is a pretty big misstep for them. But like, this is the perfect opportunity for Rare Atom to get reps in with these newer squad, make bigger tier 1 events, all while they're not having to consistently play second best to Tyloo and Lin Vision, and especially in the lead up to the major, like just getting wins over the Huns, who are also going to be at the major. That's like a really good litmus test to be like, no, we're not the third best team in China anymore, and we're going to show why. So I'm expecting a pretty clean result, and nothing apart from that is going to do for me.
I saw the Huns seem to have a fairly okay showing against Lin Vision the other day, and a team like Lin Vision getting pushed, well, that does indicate certain things. So we'll see how that pans itself out with whichever one of these 2 teams actually does make it into that grand final. But as you said, more than likely going to be Rare Atom. Now, however, FengDa, guns on board. Without any bomb plants, it's a little bit more of a stressful buy-in. Not as much utility as they would have liked to have been able to bring into this. But we slow things down quite a bit. See if we can find a impactful opening kill. And Rare Atom, to their credit, you know, taking a little bit of space, but they're playing a little bit more passively. And you don't want to get over eager, over aggressive, particularly in a round where you're not entirely sure what the enemy team might be cooking. So we hold back for now. Just let that clock run down a bit.
The T side look like they want to mobilize towards the A bomb site. Child King, though, starting to spot them out in middle. Need to be careful that Rare Atom don't allow for themselves to be wrapped. So because of that, they're going to be taking the fight directly to mid and then transitioning their gaze over towards A, where the main brute force of this attack is coming from.
And they've spotted 2 players in towards mid as well. It's caught a lot of their attention, maybe divided it ever so slightly, but we still got some eyes on towards the actual site itself. But FengDa are already making moves in, so this is going to be a bit of a tough one. Oh, P5B not able to actually connect onto anything more than just that little smattering of damage, and they just get collapsed in on. This felt like really good moves, really good pincer, but Rare Atom were just on top of each of those duels.
Honestly, yeah, super awkward round for Rare Atom. I could see that going super wrong. I think it would have gone wrong if Child King doesn't get a 3K. Like he's Beyblading around top com, single-handedly dispenses with that mid take. So a really impressive round for Rare Atom that they're able to come out the other end super clean. And just a little thing that I've noticed. Obviously, the CS Asia Championship is on right now, like a tier 1 event in China. And I was like, oh, Tai Lu are there, Lin Vision are there, and the Huns qualified through the Asia Close qualifier. And I went to Asia Close qualifier, and I was like, where's Rare Atom? I was like, okay, let me go to the Chinese Open qualifier. They lost 2-0 to Take Me Away. Whoever that was, like they didn't even get to the main Asia Close qualifier. That Take Me Away squad then got 4 rounds against the Huns in a best of 3. So it feels like Rare Atom have been the epitome of topsy-turvy. And I think it's good to see, though, that in these ESL Challenger Cups, they are performing to the level that we expect.
Yeah, it's certainly a weird result. But we'll look to see if they can keep up that momentum now. So far, so good. Should be getting them up to 4 here. An expensive round nonetheless. Couple of guns being lost. Might even lose 1 more if 3GL has anything to say about it. Nope, not going to be allowed. Oh, wait, no, he did. Oh, it was a team kill. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's okay. They've still got money. Don't even worry about it, guys. They're still going to buy into this one feeling confident and comfortable. FengDa now. Chances starting to kind of whittle away a little bit. Most of this T side has looked a little bit lackluster. They've only had the 1 rifle round, and to be fair, they had good ideas, but it felt like in the actual execution, got a little bit lost in the sauce. So now that we've got some guns available again, hopefully we can see some slightly better movements.
I don't even necessarily think what FengDa did in that previous round was bad. They just kind of get owned by Child King. I mean, they probably could have put way more pressure upon him to not allow that to happen. So there's obviously mistakes. You know, they're not perfect, so they would have won the round. But I don't necessarily hate what they tried to do. It just doesn't work in the end. So they're yet to post a round on their map pick. The last 2 times they've played Mirage against Rare Atom, I think they've got like 7-8 rounds combined across 2 maps. So I'm not feeling like mega hopeful. 9 rounds. Okay. Yes. Not feeling mega hopeful. This feels like a quote-unquote surprise pick. But Tiger, surprise! P5P, dead in apartments.
Oh, okay. Nice. They're managing to find Li Hung there in a weird little spot. And the instant follow-up onto Child King. What? Salmon? He's just gotten 3 for absolutely nothing. And now down to a scant 2 HP. Marek knows exactly where he is. The flash comes out. We're not pushing this. Oh, Salmon, you're playing this so safe. Why is the bomb still so far away? How did I just notice that? Why is it still there? Chunking and Salmon now have to try and keep the attention. Oh my god, they're not even going B. They're going to try and come A. Of course, you know, they've got the control here, but that means that Rare Atom haven't moved off, so they're still here. There's still a possibility that they can battle this back. And we're still throwing out util as if they've taken the site, but we know that they haven't because Salmon is there ready and watching. This is just slowing things down more than it realistically needs to be, but they will get that bomb planted. They still have that numbers advantage, and with that kill onto Marek now, I think this should be a done round. That got far more stressful than it needed to be, but FengDa will get 1.
Yeah, it's quite amusing that if Rare Atom probably just got 1 trade in there, that's a completely different story. Because it would have made it so much harder for that bomb to be collected. And the only reason this round's winnable is because Salmon gets all 3 of those kills. Like, he just runs up and just sends them to the spirit realm. That's all on the back of Tiger getting the opening kill towards B, while also having all of that control towards apartments. And the reason why that's important, he had the control, is because it allowed for 4 players to rotate A. There were 4 players there. Marek was always CT. And it doesn't matter. Salmon just kind of lines them up and knocks them all down. That is just excellence from him. And that's sometimes what you expect from this Asian region is the team play. You know, it could be lacking sometimes. But one thing that they have that's consistent is, my God, they can shoot hard.
Great way to open up that round. I didn't think there was a world in which he actually gets that third. Even the first two were quite wild. But here's the real question. Can we turn this into momentum, or is that going to be a little bit of a flash in the pan? Got some utility being thrown out in towards mid. This time around, not going to be left with the bomb hanging around in towards spawn. Oh my god, the flash. How have you done that? Did Summer get flashed out as well? He just couldn't get those shots to connect. So Chungking, while completely flashed out, manages to get that kill. So that opens up the main corridor. They can start moving their way in now. Tiger trying to play this ramp position. Spots out the bomb planter. Lots of damage done. Finally does get the confirm, but it's not going to stop that bomb from being planted. Now, this is a bit of an unfortunate buy for Rare Atom, but Child King and Tiger, the two rifles hand in hand, they're keeping this way more expensive than FengDa reasonably expected it to be, and Salmon's going to have to come up huge like he did previously. There is still a kit available for Rare Atom. No utility, however. Oh, no, I lied. There's a smoke on the bomb. Perfect. But we got to spam through. Do you know where the bomb is? We're just spamming. We're just praying, hoping, and it's done. He's actually managed to stop the defuse from coming through. Another attempt at a tap just because maybe some magic can happen. But Salmon, again with the heroics, keeps that tide ticking for FengDa.
I'm trying to figure out, was the kit not actually on the bomb? Because that diffuse was going for a very long time. And Salmon, that's back-to-back 3Ks. But right here, yeah, so Child King wasn't even defusing the bomb first. The kit wasn't even originally on the bomb when it was being defused. Salmon, if you look back at that replay when he was spamming the smoke and they hadn't denied the bomb being defused, yeah, he runs out of bullets as he reveals where the player was in the smoke because it dispersed, right? So his teammate ends up getting that kill. Then Salmon brings everyone down with him. That's back-to-back rounds for the T side and basically back-to-back rounds for Salmon.
And now Rare Atom are in a seriously tight spot. Smattering of MP9s across the board here. I think we're going to try and farm up some extra cash, but also leans into that more aggressive playstyle that we've become familiar with from the Asiatic region. A first kill from Salmon, but Salmon's been taken offline. The raid boss is down. 2 players remaining. Excuse me, only 1. Marek now with a hugely uphill battle ahead of him, and I think the best thing that you can really hope for out of this round at this point is maybe a little bit of extra damage done, and instead of trying to push that, he's going to try to back away. FengDa might even... Oh, they're going for a hunt on this Marek. The timing on this, he could be not much longer for this world, and there we go. The gun is stolen away, and FengDa bring the deficit to 1.
This could have been a half that really just like ran away in favor of Rare Atom, and the only reason it hasn't is just Salmon. Like he's got either a triple kill or just a kill in every single round. He is on fire right now. More kills than some of his teammates combined. But it's, for the first time, a moment of solitude as Rare Atom just on an eco. I mean, Child King has got a hero A1S, and I think P5P is just probably going to be a bit like, was that a rifle that was just shooting at me? But it doesn't matter. He gets taken down. The USP will at least avenge, but this eco shouldn't really have too much worry. Like, as soon as Liang dies here, that's just round over. Shouldn't be any more casualties.
Keeping it relatively clean there. Obviously, P5P brought down quite low from that A1S, so very easy to clean that up. Unfortunately, wasn't going to be able to get too much done in that round. But they've evened out the scoreline. The first 4 rounds, this was looking a little bit more like a dominant affair, but FengDa have absolutely shown up, and maybe this is the more concerning Rare Atom that's shown up today. You know, the Rare Atom that lost to a team that nobody's ever heard of and couldn't qualify for the CAC event. Yeah,
didn't even qualify for the close qualifier, the CAC event.
Didn't even qualify for the close qualifier, you know? Like, it's a little bit of a scary scenario here. Tiger, of course, showing up, which is cool. That's what we were wanting to see. Like, is he going to be able to do that? Yes, he is. Fantastic. Between him and Child King, it's really reminiscent of what we were seeing in ESL Impact yesterday as well, right? You got 2 players that are just doing so much to keep a team afloat. But unfortunately, you're going to require a lot more than that. You rely too heavily on hero plays. can leave you in a very scary situation. And we'll start angling over towards the B site once again. We've still got that mid push. reaktym have been fairly happy to just kind of give up mid and allow that space to be taken. Chunking takes down Child King, counterpart in some, some ways. Straight in onto the site, gets caught sleeping at the wheel there a little bit. We've already got 3 players falling by the wayside for reaktym, the last 2 remaining on the other side of the map, and surely you just go for the save at this point.
Yeah. A little part of me is starting to get cautious, tentative, nervous, all the synonyms.
Spooked,
because I'm watching that reaktym squad and I'm like, okay, Child King gets caught on the A-bomb site on a lurk. That is a player who has been similar to Salmon, a big reason for success for reaktym early on in this map. We head over towards the B-bomb site and Marek and Liang, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what are you guys doing? FengDa, I guess they don't do anything special. It's just really clean entry pathing, and they hit their first bullet headshots. But it's not like reaktym made it difficult for them. So it's back down to a low purchase. Tiger saves the AWP. He wasn't able to activate himself whatsoever in that previous round because he just got circumnavigated. And yeah, a little part of me maybe looking at this and thinking, am I nervous yet? This is a map where reaktym let FengDa get 9 rounds across 2 maps. And now FengDa are looking like the better team on the T side.
reaktym going for a heavy force into this round and does not seem to have paid off. Marek's already been wiped off the board. Okay, Child King claps back with the MP9. So we'll keep this somewhat contested. Holy cow, dude, the way he's like slipped through those smokes there, Chunking. I don't know what omen is over your head that's kept you alive through that entire movement and allowed you to get that kill, but congratulations to you, friend. You've managed to do something incredible here, and of course now that does give them a strong player advantage, and they can now decide where they want to pivot to, and of course they're going to angle over towards that B side. So much noise made in that mid to A area, so it makes perfect sense. Hopefully we've pulled rotations. We're going to bank on it. We're going to head over towards the B site. We've still got a little bit of presence in towards mid here. Chunking has been fantastic. Follows up that first mid kill with yet another one. And now he's going to go on this lurk. And I mean, this is how he kind of secured that last round as well. Getting that first kill super early on the other side of the map made things very uncomfortable. Now reaktym realizing, all right, folks, it's not going to be the A hit. So perhaps we should start making moves. Footsteps heard. Chunking once more putting Child King into the ground. And Tiger's just going to save. Hopefully.
Back-to-back rounds for Tiger where he's just kind of sat there and everyone around him's died. Salmon getting a bit of support. It's Chain King this time to do everything. Just a super simple round where the very sharp shots are hit towards middle and then the rest of the T side group up and don't overextend whatsoever. Just hit over towards that B bomb site where if there were anyone to be there, FengDa did all the right things to make sure that there would be no worry. They don't overrush anything, don't overplay their hand, and they're starting to string together quite a healthy amount of rounds. This is 6 in a row for them as they secure the even half. And for reaktym, they're just forcing back in, but they've won 1 gun round, and that was because Child King got a 3K.
Jeez, that's kind of nuts to think about. Good grief. I suppose it was just the snowball that comes from winning out the pistol round that allowed them to just kind of keep moving on up to that 4th, but once FengDa started feeling themselves a little bit more, it's been very difficult to bite back. I was really wondering if that HE was going to finish him off. Oh, Summer's been flushed out. Good for 1 onto Salmon. So maybe that'll give them a little bit of an opportunity here. But 3GL, I don't even know how you saw that, man. And somehow, Child King and Li Hang are battling it back. They've cleared out all of the forces in towards mid. But space has been taken over on towards A. And now, oh my god, Biuckmt going all the way around towards the murder hole. Wants to try and catch them on the rotation. The timing here is going to be so important. And he does! My god, he's done it. He brings it down to a 2 versus 2 now. What was a almost lost scenario becomes somewhat winnable, but now, oh no, oh, they think they've cleared it. They don't realize there's another player here. If Li Hang holds his mettle, if he can stay quiet, he's got the kill onto 3G. Now he is being watched. He's going to walk straight into the crosshair. Oh my god, no, he does! The Molotov! And there's no... Oh my god. Pain. Just pain.
Last time Child King was in this position, he was the one who had the kit, and he wasn't on the bomb. This time, he's the one who doesn't have the kit, and he was the one on the bomb. You can never get it right. And even though Rare Atom win it out, they just don't have enough time. 7 in a row for FengDa. Now, this is not the result that I came into expecting. And for Rare Atom, Major's not too far away. They can't be playing Counter-Strike like this there.
Man, pure chaos. I mean, you got to give it to FengDa doing so well to whittle away the time there, holding back, stemming the forces, the rotation towards murder hole to cut off the rotation back towards site. Stunning stuff. It all comes down to the wire here. Rare Atom now with a semi-decent buy. I say semi-decent. Obviously, the guns are exactly where they need to be, but you're missing a little bit of head armor here and there, and had to kind of compromise a little bit on the utility. But for the most part, they're good. They're not feeling too uncomfortable. At least in terms of weaponry, right? Last round and a half now, and this is kind of a do-or-die scenario for them. To lose the map in such a dominant fashion would certainly potentially be a little bit of a mental breaker. And this time around, they're not leaving mid kind of completely for free. Marek's doing a bit of jump spotting now. Spots out a few players in towards apartments. That'll be him forced off of his angle. Li Hang is flashed out. That's going to give a lot of opportunity to push in. Despite all the util, Li Hang's still able to get his. Marek, I thought he was flashed out there, but he must have just dodged it. Oh my god. P5P core looking in the wrong direction, and 3GL is all alone. He's managed to get one, but he's had to swap over onto the Tech 9. Still somehow making some miracles happen, and is going to go for the plant. That is brave. That's a little bit cheeky. But is he going to be able to survive any longer here? Hasn't swapped to a rifle. Oh my god, the timing on that is unreal, 3GL! How have you done this? Now it's a 1 versus 1. Summer should know where he is. But the Tech 9's been brought out again. He knows it's going to come down to a close range altercation, playing through the smoke. The spams through, connecting slightly, but not getting that final kill. A flash into the smoke just to buy a little bit of time. He knows he's on that bomb. You know you've got... Oh my god, he just lets him do it! And it's a 7-5 half.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life.
What could have been 8 rounds in a row for the underdog was thwarted by a ninja defuse, denying the 1v4. It's close, but no cigar. 3GL, he's had a pretty slow game and then does that with the Orpin Tech 9. Rare Atom now on the T side, seeing if they can make things a little bit more comfortable for themselves. The pistol round was basically the only time they had tangible success in that first half. So, relying on this now to kickstart their T side.
And they've already managed to plant the bomb as well. FengDa just kind of give over quite a lot of space there. Go for a little bit more of a retake heavy setup. Now start making their way in. Got a couple of players moving in through jungle here. Child King's going to get his head lobbed clean off. Oh, nice. The follow-ups are pretty good as well. But Marek is playing a little bit of a gatekeeper here. Good for two himself. They're already on the bomb. They're already on the bomb. Hello? Spam? Somebody? Anybody? Oh my God.
And he doesn't get knifed. It's salmon. It's salmon. It's always salmon. Now that's a weird sentence to say. So gracious. I don't understand really how he's been able to get away with that, because Rare Atom, they actually do it's a good round. It is a 1 versus 3, but because of the smoke and kit on the bomb, sometimes that's the most powerful thing. And okay, second pistol round 1. As mentioned, on the attack, on the defense, Rare Atom exclusively got 4 of their 5 rounds because of winning out the pistol round. So now they're going to have to really rely on this force buy to get some traction. And it's an unfortunate missed opening kill for Liang.
A lot of space has been garnered up here in towards mid. Managed to get all the way in under window. So might be able to cut off some rotations if he's lucky. Thankfully, with that bomb plant, it means that there is a buy. So we've got some weaponry to try to pivot off of. Oh my God, they're walking right into Salmon. This could be the end of the world as we know it, to quote a very good song. Oh, never mind. Oh, I love that we had the third person perspective on that. That's fantastic. He just gets absolutely shut down. It's a little bit back and forth though. It's a little bit uncomfortable to say the least, but it is a 3 versus 2 now, with Rare Atom having control of the bomb site. Bomb yet to be planted, however. Still waiting for a teammate to rotate in. Oh dear Lord, Chunking That's just rude. And now he's in a position to actually salvage this round in a massive way. We're waiting for Child King to meet back up, and he has now found himself in apartments. But here's the problem. Biuckmt has actually met up as well. So we've got a proper 2 versus 2. Still no bomb down. Time continues to tick away. Chunking pushes him through the smoke here. Here's the tap. He's going to lose his life for it. So now they know that there's one up towards the top of apartment. Spam through the smoke. The time has run out. And Child King now... I thought maybe he would like try and find Biuckmt, push through the smoke, get a little bit crazy, but no, he taps and tries to bait him out. And of course, that just doesn't work. And there you go. Based on time, a round is lost.
Counter-Strike giveth and Counter-Strike taketh. Rare Atom get a ninja defuse on the B bomb site at the final round of the first half, then they lose a 3v2 on the B bomb site now in the second round of the second half. And that round basically is, that 2v2 was awfully played. Same with the 2v1 or whatever. But Summer jumping out of apartments and not clearing market door properly, that's a pretty big issue. That allows for Chen King to come through and isolate, well, Summer actually. But FengDa, they are making a real case themselves. Sure, everyone dies and everyone goes down with the ship, but they are 9-5 up, and Rare Atom, because of that save weapon, they just have to force back into this. But it ain't pretty, by no means. And if this round, it is high risk and medium reward. If Rare Atom win this, well, they also have to force buy. They don't really have a choice. But if they do win this, okay, they're back in, right? They've got contested. If they lose this, that is potentially map over.
That's a really solid way to kick things off, but unfortunately, the proactivity from FengDa is incredible. Managing to steal away one of those Galils. Okay, Salmon took a lot of damage while that happened, so maybe Rare Atom can find some value off the back of that. And the kill onto Biuckmt means that the A site is open, so they can rotate in fairly easily. Got to deal with the jungle player. They do just that. And they have managed to secure this. I mean, I say that, man. The ninja shenanigans have been outrageous, but it looks like Salmon is going to give up any sort of an attempt at a retake here. So that's the right call to make. He's going to hold on to the gun. Doesn't have a kit or anything. There's quite a bit of utility and some Kevlar to pull through to the next round. So makes some sense. And Rare Atom may just have given themselves a lifeline in this series.
It's a lifeline, is what I mean, kind of like high risk, medium reward, because the reward is that they survive and they're still able to contend in this map. First map of the series, their opponent's map pick. I'm not really sure what happened in Underpass. P5P or Chenking, one of them had a USP. And then, I don't know. That was a really messy round from the city side. They tried to get aggressive in Underpass and apartments. It just doesn't really work out for them. And from that point onwards, it kind of spirals away. 9-6, FengDa, they might be allowing a gateway and opening for Rare Atom. They force in here. If they lose this, that may as well be 9-8. And it's going to be just then a one-round game. And throughout all of FengDa's success and them stringing 7 rounds together, stealing away the pistol, it might not matter. And this round, they already start with a mad disadvantage as they lose P5P in mid, as 2 players jumped out window and then just instantly went into connector, but not all of them made it back.
You can't allow this to slip away from them, you know. It's so easy to let pistol rounds get more value than they realistically should.
That's a right.
Thank you for illustrating my point. Free gun handed over as well. Okay, so what is the play here, Rare Atom? You've already lost 1 player in towards connector. We're still kind of hovering the bomb in towards mid, but could pivot anywhere. And it looks like we're going to angle over towards B. A rotational call has already been called by FengDa, however. We've got a huge flank coming in, but it's going to take time for that to activate. So Chungking, a lot on his shoulders here. Gets that first. Salmon's just got a deagle, but deagles can be devastating. Not this time, unfortunately. It's Chungking to continue coming up big, but he does get traded out now down to a 2 versus 2. Marek has recovered a rifle and can chip away at these last standing players. 3GL, I said that lurk was going to take 10 years to actually come into fruition. Well, here it is. Pops out the window, gets the first kill. The last one's so low, he could do this. A stray bullet is all it takes, and he's done it. He's clutched the round. They had absolutely no right, and they've done it.
And sure, Cheng King gets 2 kills with the A1S, but it's 3 with the 5-7 in total in that round. The 4 spy rains terror upon Rare Atom. And yeah, I was thinking, surely that flank is just way too far. Like, there's no way that this espionage is ever successful. Well, it's savage in its approach. Defuse comes in, double digits. That was a Rare Atom round through and through. And they drop the ball once more. But T-side bomb down, they've still got the econ.
Unfortunately, we're running out of rounds to play with. If they lose this one, that's going to be FengDa up to 11. And the chances of clawing back in are slowly slipping through your fingertips. Child King flashed into a position and then just gets utterly flashed out. At least the smokes were there to give them that little bit of extra cover. Both a T-smoke and a CT smoke allows him to just live despite everything else that's going on. Got strong presence in mid here. Child King, that's a nasty one battle against Chungking. Actually doesn't even take any damage. It's Li Hung that ends up going down to 3GL. And now Rare Atom caught a little bit confused. Not entirely sure where they should be reinforcing. They've split their forces now, 2 towards A, 2 towards B. With a little bit of presence in towards mid, it's hard to tell where the movement truly is. Salmon now has made a lot of noises. Oh my god, oh my god. The cosmetic angle check. He doesn't even have his gun in his hand when he pops through. Tiger gets 2 with the deagle. And Rare Atom have given themselves a little bit more to play with here. We're going to hold on to this AK into the next round. Rare Atom with 3 players surviving at the end of this one. And they desperately needed this to be a fairly clean round as well.
Just not an ounce of consistency. We've yet to see a single team take an eco in the second half because it has just been 4 spies back and forth, back and forth. Rare Atom yet to win 2 rounds on the trot. But on that T side, it was just kind of what I was mentioning. They lose the previous round, but they get the bomb down, and only 1 player survives in, or no player survives in all these rounds that FengDa win. So they ultimately, for some reason, as a City side, have worse money because they won the round. And now it's going to have to be that another 4 spy. A MP9 can be dropped from the survivor, or just buy full util, and the rest are going to be on 5-7 Kevlar, and that's kind of it. But yeah, like Salmon from hero to zero, he's been genuinely phenomenal, but apparently the Flying Tiger is a bit too vicious. Tiger versus Salmon, yeah, I know what I'm choosing.
Flying Tiger is actually a really sick shop. Just, you know,
that's what, yeah, that's what I was trying to go with.
Oh, nice.
I was like, Flying Tiger's a thing, right? And I couldn't quite actually place what it was.
Yeah. We don't have those in South Africa, but when I lived in Poland, oh, big fan. All right. Oh, man. I don't want to call this round. Whenever I look at the buys, and I think, yeah, surely we can't get too much done in this one, but we've seen so many scrappy rounds come through with the most awkward buys imaginable. An opener here for Rare Atom and a bomb plant means that they should have an in this round. And I wonder how much we're going to see FengDa try to press this, right? So a little bit of util has started to come out. They have got 1 kit available. They've got 4 players alive, so they can push a little bit. But now they've lost 1. They've lost a second. They've lost so much. Surely a call to save could have come through a little bit earlier on, but no, not going to be allowed. Now the FAMAS trying desperately to get just 1 more kill, and it's another clean enough round for Rare Atom. 3 players surviving to the end, and we're down to only a 2-round deficit. The resurgence is on.
The resurgence is kind of almost more than on. I think it's here. It's arrived. I thought it was going to be a 1-round game quite a while ago, so I didn't expect the Force Buys to continue in the way it did. I thought it was going to be a 9-8 1-round game, but it's going to be somewhat similar, just, you know, +1 either side. 10-9 after this, the first eco in this second half on round 19. Yep. And the first time that Rare Atom are able to double down. They consecutively win 2 rounds in a row. Ooh, cheeky bugger. And that's what you get. Little slap on the wrist. Bit too cheeky. Ooh, good evening.
Oh, how does he get one? What? Bro just literally cosplayed a Jack in the Box and got a jump scare kill. I swear to God. Like...
Oh, that's great. I mean, they didn't, you know, they lost the round, but hey, subtle victories.
That's so dumb. Alright, well, sometimes we take what we can get, I suppose. Get an extra kill, that'd be quite nice, but we're going to circumvent this deagle almost entirely. The deficit now down to only 1. It's good to see that most of the players have started to step up in the second half as well. It's quite interesting because in the first half, Rare Atom CT side, 2 players were on the board. Everyone else was just kind of unavailable, you know, not available for questioning. And the reverse also true for FengDa. You had like 2 players that were really stepping up and everyone else was just kind of, I mean, they were there, they were kind of not there. We get onto the second half and suddenly everybody's activated. Now everybody has come online. Okay, Child King is kind of streaks ahead with his 21 and 12, but everyone else starting to bring up the rear a little bit. They're starting to close that gap ever so slightly. It's good to see that we are seeing a little bit more of a contestation. Maybe the first half was a warm-up half, and now we'll start to see the real Rare Atom.
Okay, this is a really important round for FengDa. And Rare Atom, minute and what, 35 seconds, 36, and they're already on the A-bomb site. Biuckmt is going to be able to achieve 1 kill. No massive clutch for him today. And it's going to be a 4 versus 4 bomb planted. But look how close the cities are for an instant retake. Issue is, no kits. They've got time not on their side.
Surely now you just back away. I mean, they have no money. Oh, we got an extra kill. Does that warrant going for it? They don't have a kit here. Oh, I don't know. Time is really just not on their side. They're actually managing to continue to get more kills, which is a little bit egregious. How are they doing this? Okay, fair enough. You know what? Maybe it was worth going for it. I genuinely thought Rare Atom were going to put up a little bit more of a stronger defensive line, but I've been proven wrong before, and I'll be proven wrong again.
Well, the big issue there is that in the 4 versus 4, not only are FengDa really close, so it's like they're kind of obviously going to go for the retake because they get there before the bomb's been planted, is Child King out in no man's land. He's in this super awkward position where he gets the bomb down and his teammates aren't there. They've like exited, they've all gone Tetris and ramp, and he's in no man's land towards bench around triple and just has to try and find himself this awkward duel. He does, and he loses it. And from that point onwards, everyone just gets boxed in because Rare Atom have no space on that post plant and they don't even take fights together. So it's an opening kill, but couldn't do anything with it. And now back with their pressure applied, round 21. The gap extends once more, but they've got money to work with, and they can still reset this city side economy.
Unfortunately, yeah, the scant utility is going to make things a little bit more difficult here, so might have to play a little bit more of a passive, paranoia-inducing game. And FengDa, they realize that it's going to be a little bit of a knife's edge here, so getting a bit too cheeky. Salmon loses his life for it, but we get the return onto Child King. So Child King and Salmon offline is really good news for both of these two teams respectively, but trades favor T's. And unfortunately, that means that now Rare Atom do have a little bit of a... Oh my god, all right. Nice little swing there. Dodges out the first shot. takes down that AWP, and yes, it is. It's just making a whole ton of noise here. But as he starts running down ramp and, you know, on around the world tour, surely that should give things away a little bit. Now Chunking waiting at the murder hole. Oh, the patience on him is fantastic, but the B site has capitulated. And they should be able to get this bomb planted. Last remaining players now for FengDa have to regroup, get themselves back into a more strong position. They've spotted out that AWP. Biuckmt is trying to distract and create a little bit of chaos, but unfortunately Summer brings up the rear, and Rare Atom are up to 10. They lose a round, they bring it back.
Double AWPs doesn't go the way of the CT side. That's a really big investment. It doesn't pay off. And to be honest, Rare Atom is just individuals this round. This round is just purely individuals getting kills on the extremities and then grouping up and just popping into the bomb site where there was one AWPer and you just kind of subjugated him to the back of the bomb site. FengDa, issue is, they've always been in the lead. 7 rounds in a row on their T side and a super strong CT side, even though they lost the pistol and the second round. But the issue is it could just be all for naught as they're on an eco. This will be the first time since, well, I guess it was technically 7-7 for a short period of time. So first time in a while though, and the first time that actually Rare Atom equalize the scoreline and momentum shifts in their favor.
No. Shouldn't get too much more done. I say that. Okay. Oh my god. How has this happened, bro? They've just hung around in mid and allowed the pistols to pincer in on them from all different directions. It turns into an utter bloodbath. And now Summer has to A, recover the bomb, and B, 1v2 against 2 CTs that have recovered AKs. And he has an HE and a Molotov. Like, realistically, I don't know if I see a world. Molotov comes out. That does give him 1v1, but P5P is quick on the swing, and they will secure that round. They had no right winning this round, but they catch Rare Atom so heavily off guard, and now it's map point.
And of course, the ecos. Rare Atom, they're going to the major, by the way, guys. They're going to the major. This is a team that's contesting for Tier 1 Counter-Strike. They've had pretty wonky roster changes. Last time I saw them at a Tier 1 event in Serbia at the Fisher Playground 1, it was they signed Trash instead of replacing the tenured somebody. I had question marks then. I've got a lot of question marks now. But they're making it work. The Tech 9 has got an entry out mid. Child King hasn't actually retrieved one of the rifles somehow. He's reloaded though, so he's been hurt. He's just going to get swung on, and on 20 HP, he hits the instant cranium crack. Okay, overtime's a possibility, I guess.
Cranium crack. I quite like that. And it's interesting because this is a round where FengDa just try and do the same thing that they did on the pistols. Like, hey guys, it worked when you had pistols. Why not with rifles? And it does get a little bit spooky, but 2 low HP players caught out in mid, literally no man's land. Nothing to kind of cover them whatsoever aside from each other. And of course, Salmon was still alive, so he'll just quickly wipe up those 2 kills. Now we're in far more even territory. Marek has found himself on a... Oh, man. No, you needed to be there. You needed to create the pincer. Summer's lost. The bomb's on the floor. And Marek now has to try and re-push into this. 2 guns staring his way. Overtime, not on the cards as it so happens. 13-10 in favor of FengDa, and they will take their map pick.
It's just also like, how are they losing that round at the end? What's going on? FengDa, they get 9 rounds across Mirage in 2 separate outings against Rare Atom.
welcome back, everybody. We're going to be diving straight into our second map here. We'll see now if Rare Atom can pull themselves towards themselves a little bit, because here's a fun stat for you, Freddy. Rare Atom had 15 opening kills on the first map, and they lost it. They only managed to win 10 rounds. So, looking a little bit lackluster are the Atomers, maybe getting a little bit atomized, so to speak. But now they've got that bomb planted. They find themselves in a little bit of a post plant. They have, however, hemorrhaged forces. They haven't even checked window. Somehow we're surviving despite the onslaught. Child King continuing to be the exact same problem he was before. Thank God Marek is there, an angel from above, to keep Child King alive just a little bit longer. Tiger to get the final kill. And once again, the B site proves to be incredibly difficult to retake. Who knew?
Yeah, to be fair, 15 opening kills and in 23 rounds, 24 rounds.
Yeah.
It's like it's whatever. I think Rare Atom, they were there was some very evident problems. Not converting a couple opening kills, certainly the tip of the iceberg for this team and this squad who. Intriguing roster changes. Traded our experience for newer blood. They looked rather chaotic on that first map, but here on Dust2, this should be a walk in the park. They've got very consistent wins. Outside of that mishap against Take Me Away, which was in the CAC Open qualifier, they've done pretty well on this map, and even when they had trash, they took 3D Max to a double overtime. They're very apt on Dust2, and for FengDa, it's certainly a map that they struggle more on. They've gone through many a loss streak, and a lot of those losses to Rare Atom, while also weaker Chinese squads. They do have a recent win over Kaleido. That was in the lower bracket of this tournament. Yeah, the lower bracket finals, so the game before this, which is a great win. But here against Rare Atom, they're already showing that on this T side, they're just going to have their way, and no crazy force buys in the first of a Dust2 that we had on Mirage.
Bomb has been planted.
Yes, perhaps a semblance of normalcy. Oh, I say that. Okay. Do you know what? There was a world where I thought maybe P5P gets that kill. You know, maybe a little bit of a cheeky pistol spam. But no, not going to be allowed to have any of those shenanigans come to fruition here. And yeah, second round going more or less as it's expected. We want this to be a bit more stable. Now let's see what we can accomplish on the second round. Because obviously, quite a spend put into this one by FengDa. A full force wants to recover that weapon. Toe-to-toe with Summer. And Summer turns to Winter. The winter of his life. All right. Money, a bit of a problem. Off the back of that force. High risk, high reward. All the risk, none of the reward. And we're going to have to go... We're going to have to wait until round 4 before anything could potentially get crazy.
Yeah, it's just about keeping this clean. I would say it's just an eco, but Mirage showed us that you never want a cool sight in just an eco. That Deagle shot, how on God's name was that a kill? Unlucky Liang. He had to actually post anything on the scoreboard, but it's Child King on the Mac 10. That's a cheeky $1,800 farmed up for him. He falls. Could be worse. And this should just be clean now from this point onwards. Chen King yet to get a kill as well. He was rather prolific on Mirage, so I doubt it's going to stay like that for too long.
Good to see Marek getting involved in some of these scuffles as well. Had a little bit of a slower start on Mirage, so nice to see him getting in early. Because we saw him step up towards the end of the map. I was saying that, like, everybody was kind of stepping up a little bit more in the second half, but start building up those kills early on. does give you a much better look. An extra kill at the end of that round would have been really nice for FengDa, but I think that they did as much as could realistically be expected of them in a round like that. Now we do have those weapons available. How has 3GL just taken so much early damage? Okay, he's battling off in towards mid. That makes a lot of sense. He has managed to get the kill onto Tiger. The follow-up onto Child King is clean. However, he's taken a lot of damage on the upswing. Salmon has also been brought dangerously low now. So the two of them probably going to have to play a little bit more passive. How have you gotten all the way there, Biuk? Like, the flank potential here is a little bit nasty. And these last two players are going to be walking straight into Chunking. Chunking has not been someone to trifle with throughout this series so far. They've managed to slip past him.
Already
I think that there might be a chance. Unfortunately, does get kind of crouch walked into. Liang, good for the double though. Gives himself at least a chance to plant the bomb. And in this 1 versus 3, it's doable. It's going to be difficult, but with two players with a combined 3 HP, there is a world. If that AWP shot had hit, well, that would have been that. Oh my god, they just line up. The spray is phenomenal. And Liang with a 1v4 clutch, I want to say. All done.
1v4 indeed, and a 2v5 in total. That is ridiculous from Rare Atom. That's the type of performance that I was expecting to see on Mirage, and it took them way too long to wake up. This is just so unlucky. They line up. Liang repositions superbly as well. He gets that kill, peeking towards CT, and then instantly jumps back onto the bomb site, and they just don't expect him. They get caught with their pants around their ankles. And FengDa getting taught a lesson or two currently on Dust2. It's a good start, but it doesn't matter as they're reduced back down to the pistols. And that's going to be a big confidence and momentum maker for the Rare Atom side. Just, yeah, let's not lose to Deagles at range, shall we?
I was waiting for that as well, because it looked like there was a tiny little gap in the smoke earlier, but there wasn't. And I was like, oh, could it be happening? Could that little bit of extra damage come through? A reposition gives him just the angle that he needs. But that's going to be all they're going to get into this round. Rare Atom keeping this a little bit cleaner, a little bit tidier. They can start building up that long-term economy. And bearing in mind that this was exactly how Mirage started as well, a 4-round runaway for Rare Atom, and then suddenly they just got slapped straight back down. This time, not going to allow that to happen. They've actually kind of pushed past that hurdle, pushed past the wall, as it were. Bring themselves up to 5 rounds now. So for FengDa, obviously a full buy into this, but losing this round, going to put them back down into the dumps. And Rare Atom have a chance to run away with this.
Yeah, it's a very important round. FengDa did everything right in the last gun round up until the very end. 2v5, 1v4, it doesn't feel like it's going to have that same energy as the two AWPs collide, but Tiger, he is on serious form right now. T-side, scouting and AWPing, he's got 8 kills. Might have to step up even more though, because this B bomb site holding sturdily. Very over-eager and very over-aggressive from the Rare Atom side. Feels very complacent to be charging through that tunnel smoke after you get a singular opening kill on the AWPer, just kind of neglecting the fact that there will be other defenders there, and the rotations were already happening because the bomb site was being reinforced regardless. That is a very interesting call from RA.
Honestly, a little bit disappointing with how lackluster they were with that round. Okay, bearing in mind, Salmon is holding double doors, so we know what he's capable of. He had a light-up performance on the first map. P5P, I genuinely think that there's a world where he gets a 3rd kill there if he doesn't die to a Molotov. Like, if that Molotov never comes out, there's absolutely a possibility where he gets one more. The utility usage there was fantastic, and for Rare Atom, as said, right, a little bit lackluster on trying to get themselves through that smoke, and You effectively are going in blind, whether you have a flash or not. The fact that there's this giant smoke in your way means you have no earthly notion what's on the other side. They weren't expecting it to be so heavily reinforced, though. I get that, but gotta be a little bit more savvy in rounds like this against teams like this who are fighting tooth and nail to prove themselves. They've already won that first map and heavily considered the underdogs. So, want to show what they're capable of, show their mettle a little bit. Yeah, it's a nice little adaptation that we saw as well. Leaving mid fairly uncontested. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of presence at range, but nothing too up close and personal, and they'll realize, okay, there might be a little bit of a gap in the defensive line, so we'll close that gap ever so slightly, and this allows 3GL to move his attentions away from mid back up towards the catwalk position. And that means that Rare Atom, not entirely aware of what's happening here, they slow down, trying to find a little bit of information.
Yeah, double long setup for Biuckmt and Chenking. They need to make sure they hold down this part of the map as Summer's rotating over. He's going to be playing a very late prong, but the main focus is 3GL. This AWP has to sing or at least retreat, but then it could ultimately just be like a 5v5 retake. That ain't going to be easy. Now here comes the short execute. 3GL, it's your moment to shine, and Chen King's positioned perfectly onto the bomb site. That's really well played from him, but unfortunately doesn't get anything. No reward for his movement. Time ticking down. They have to commit to this and keep an eye on Summer. Keep an eye on this Tech 9. It's a 4v4, and he's playing so late from Longhouse.
At least they have kept an eye for so long, but now they're thinking, oh, well, it's got to be safe. Surely there won't be anyone coming in from there. This time around, 3GL managing to survive is great news. It means he can keep kind of chipping away at the forces. They've now started to make their way in towards the bomb, but still two players up on that catwalk. How is 3GL still doing this? He's managed to get a third for himself, but he doesn't have a kit. Time is ticking, and the last two Ts have moved themselves away from the bomb site in anticipation of its explosion. 3GL does so much in that round, but the rest of the squad not able to match his energy. And it's another round that goes in favor of Rare Atom.
Liang just dips. I was looking at the clock. I was like, there's definitely enough time for him to get defuse. The Young's just out of there. They get the 3 kills and they're just like, bye. But no, like I don't really understand how Rare Atom win that round, especially when 3GL gets 2 kills on the site and then also make sure that Summer can't activate from long. He did absolutely everything in his power, and yet it's all in vain. Liang, the king of that A-bomb site, wears that crown and sits upon his throne sustainably. But this time, 3GL, he's going to get a much more aggressive opening kill, as this man, what more can he do? He's doing so much in these rifle rounds, and surely they can convert this 5v4.
Well, that is certainly the hope, and with the amount of control that they've taken in towards mid here, one would believe the HE doing a lot of chip damage onto Child King, the Molotov. It's a T-side Molotov, in fact. So I thought maybe there was a CT one to stop a flush, but no. It was their own one. A little bit of peeking around the corners there, trying to find a trade kill, but not going to be allowed that opportunity. So we'll see FengDa retreat from that mid position, not wanting to be overwhelmed unnecessarily. They've got quite a bit of information about the 2 players in towards lower tunnels, and so they can now start to kind of play off of that a little bit more, start tightening the noose in this mid area as Chungking and P5P come to reinforce. Now, you need to be aware, could have a couple of chain flashes to come through here, so have to be ready and waiting. And now 3GL has also created that crossfire. 3 people aiming down sights towards this area. Chungking totally bypassed. The flash clears and he's good for 2. P5P had already gotten the first, which means that this is an absolute bloodbath. And 3GL will close out the round. That's a stunner from FengDa.
3GL probably just pretty happy that he's able to get that opening kill and feel somewhat vindicated that this time it isn't a round loss. No one looking for Chen King. Everyone tunnel vision on P5P. And it's not like it's a pretty common position. I would have expected that's the first place they look. I suppose when P5P takes the first contact, it almost draws away all their attention. and they just seemingly don't ever expect there to be a second player. So Rare Atom, a very clean start on Dust2, partially in thanks to Liang, who were 1v4. But now they're reduced to just a low purchase. Okay. They're buying into this round, because that makes sense.
It's about sending a message, Freddy. Yes. I'm not sure what the message is, but
like they eco this round, they have a full buy in the next.
But if they win this round,
and unless I'm completely missing something. Yeah, wait, they lost 2 in a row, right? That means they have.
But if they win this round, Freddy,
got 3 kills with the Tech 9s.
If they win this round, it's not even the big forced guns. It's just Child King and Li Hang getting so unreasonable. The bomb site is theirs for the taking, free and clear, bomb to be planted. Li Hang about to come face to face with P5P, doesn't even get through the smoke. The Tech 9 will put him in his grave. And well, there you go. 3GL, the last domino to fall, and it's another round for Rare Atom. I love that I was singing if they win this round before the 3 kills come through. It feels so vindicating.
Like, I mean, it's kind of troll that FengDa get aggressive there because they know it should be against an eco at least. They're probably a little bit just like, wait, hold on. You had an AK? You had 9s, you had armor? But like, that's also super troll that they get aggressive like that. Regardless, like honestly, I think I could just be calling map over right here. Like Liang's 1v4, they've just won what should be in an eco but a force buy. Like if I'm FengDa, I'm probably not the happiest on this CC side right now. And for Rare Atom, like this is their map. This is the map where they are probably the most secure on in their veto. They've challenged tier 1 teams in Europe, even with a pretty weird roster. So I'm not too worried currently on Dust2. It's just that real worry of like how they're playing. Maybe it feels so unconvincing, and also that Mirage was just so like, is this the team that's gonna be playing at the major? Like this team that's playing Mirage right now?
Still a little bit of time between now and then. I think there's also, I don't know how much this factors in, but there's also the part where Rare Atom have already qualified for the regional final. So do they have to necessarily be taking this quite as seriously? They've already qualified for the major.
Semi-finals is going to be like, that's going to be important. Like,
oh my God. Oh, Chunking. That's unreasonable, bro. He gets so much damage done and he can't finish his meal. And genuinely, if they lose this round, I'm blaming him. But they don't. Salmon's able to somehow clutch that one up in a very stressful way. Recovered the AWP and brought themselves to 3.
I don't know how Tiger gets away with some of these rounds. Like, also, I think both 3GL and Tiger should probably be a little bit annoyed at themselves, like annoyed at their teammates, because that's 2 different rounds where the AWPs on either side have got opening kills and kind of just done absolutely everything, and their team haven't won the round. And you just kind of sit back and you think, what more can we do, right? Our AWPs, give them a raise. And 3GL, that's insanely aggressive and solo. But hey, bye Liang.
He's just done it again, hasn't he? It's fantastic stuff. 3GL has been amazing so far on this map. But as you said, right, how much the AWPs can do can only take you so far. With an opener like that, the rest of the team needs to step up. 2 more rounds here. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's necessary for FengDa. Because again, not their map pick. Not a map that they're particularly comfortable on. So to snatch these extra 2 rounds could mean the difference between a win and a loss, I suppose.
100%. 5 is pretty much a mandatory. And Salmon, he's going to get us there individually holding down this B bomb site. And he survives. Don't know how he's gotten away with that. Okay. Sorry, bombs down middle. Salmon, he has gotten away with it. He has done enough. And 3GL swoops in for another on the AWP.
A little bit sad to see that the Biuckmt didn't really get anything in that round. I cast a game yesterday, day before, and somebody was playing the Biuckmt in all of these like low buy rounds where you would expect someone to have like an MP9 or something. He's running around with an Biuckmt, and he had like 2-3K spray downs, and just off of that, I call it anecdotal, but I'm becoming a little bit of a believer. So I'm a little bit sad to see that it didn't get anything done in this round.
Like 2016, I'd be like, hell yeah.
But just believe, Freddy. Just believe. Like, I believe in the Tech 9s of Rare Atom because they've done ridiculous things already today. Child King, one of the very people that has one of those Tech 9s. He got a 3K the last time he had one in his hands. Can he replicate those results? Only good for one. Chunking says, no thank you. Slaps them straight back down. It's a solid defensive line. Summer's going to get his, however, and that's going to be them being able to get that bomb planted. One rifle recovered as well. Gives them a little bit more staying power. 3GL's had to pull out the pistol. Trying to do this with an AWP was too much to ask, but the pistols will do quite nicely. A defuse on the trot, and that is a 5th round, a needed 5th round, and a garnered one.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice.
Considering Rare Atom won the pistol round, they won a 1v4, and they won a full Tech 9 round. And they only got 7 on their T side of their map pick and kind of their main map. I'm not too sure what I'm feeling right now for this squad. They're supposed to be the favorites. They've been anything but that today, and a map down in the lower bracket consolidation final for a spot in the grand finals of the ECL Season 50 Asia Pacific Cup number 3. The 2-peat finalists, the 1-peat winner might not even make it for revenge against the Huns. And that's really good openers, and that is exactly the sort of message that FengDa are trying to send.
Nice way to open up this round quite nicely for them. Only 2 players remaining here. Oh, my heavens above. Oh, my days. Child King and Li Hang. They're never quite out of it, are they? It always feels like there's always a possibility, a chance, a world in which they can make miracles happen. But Salmon's still alive, so he'll just shut that down quick sharp.
Okay, I'm officially a little bit scared for Rare Atom. They're forcing up as well. They are seriously doing the old do or die. And this could be a pretty bad litmus test going into the major cycle if this is what they're playing like. Currently, they have got the right stack though. 4 players are going to be meandering their way over towards this A bomb site. And it's going to be the T side that look to walk up, but they might not be met with welcome. And the T side needs to be careful they don't overextend. Let the T side come into your hand. Let FengDa overplay their cards. But instead, Rare Atom, they fight, they lose some HP, and they drop smokes to delay the proceedings.
I want to buy a little bit of time here. Desperate plays. Done that little bit of early on damage. Oh man, and the scout just continues to chunk away at the HP bars. No one willing to be the second person to swing out. Oh my god, no, why did you pull out a Molotov, man? That's so scary. Oh my heavens. Okay, well, not going to be allowed to hold on to that AK, unfortunately. Not too much more done in this round either. Okay, as I say that, Summer manages to get a little bit more done. So a bit of damage done. Everyone's so low HP here. Marek almost feels like he might be in with a chance. Gets the first, but that's all she wrote. That being said, 3 kills in this round. Not bad. We'll take those.
The issue is, it's like, oh, okay, nice damage. We'll take that damage. But that was the force buy. That was not a round that you care about damage. It doesn't quite have that same effect on the T side as well as the C side. They're just going to be on the eco. And FengDa, this is their position to take the lead for what would be the first time in this map, as they've always been trailing. It was 5 in a row, 6-1, 7-2. It's always been Rare Atom, but now FengDa, it's their time to shine.
Dare I start to believe in the 2-0?
I would say sure.
Alright, we'll give them a little bit of time here to try and cook a bit more. They've done some similar aggressive shenanigans in rounds on Mirage, and it did kind of end up somewhat similarly. Lots of damage done here on this one. Final player, Summer, has to go on a little bit of a round-the-world adventure. I've taken a lot of those guns. Here's the neat part. When he does come in for the reaggress, he can pick up a gun. Now, it's going to be a tough call for a 1v2. He's got a Molotov, so if he can find a way to maybe do a little bit of isolation here, there's a world in which maybe he keeps this going. They haven't tapped. They're a little bit paranoid. Now Bomb's going to try to go down. Well done to Summer trying to clear before pushing, but unfortunately does get caught out. There's so many places where he could be standing, and well, how on earth do you pick the right one at the perfect moment? Not able to do so, and FengDa give themselves a lead.
First time since Mirage.
Damn.
Okay. Atom. Don't want to be fumbling this series. This was a sure 2-0 victory for them. I looked at this morning and I was like, there's no way FengDa win this. Surely, right? They've only once taken Rare Atom to 3 maps. They always lose 2-0. And now, 3 maps is a minimum for Rare Atom. They're also going to need a pretty spicy comeback, but Summer, got to be careful, not want to get caught off guard, but instead it'll be 3GL to be the one that get caught off guard. Luckily though for him, only takes a little bit of damage. Still 2 players on this B bomb site, and Child King look to come and support Summer.
Kind of slowing things down a little bit more now, with a little bit of noise. Oh, Jesus, okay. Tiger King just like snaps chunking out of existence. Thank you for playing. That's gonna severely hobble this T-side push. Summer, yes, perfectly in possession. A little bit too late to try and check that.
What?
But Salmon, bro, how does he keep doing this? He just runs through main, gets both kills. Do you see where they were? They were on literal opposite sides of the site. He has to run in, clear car, then look back towards the box and still get that kill. Then he can run forward and get the bomb planted, and it's a 2v2 retake on the B site. This is more than doable, and do what they have. Oh, Rare Atom, what is happening?
We're going to have to see a quick replay of that or whatever, because that was pretty abysmal and just simply diabolical that Salmon's able to shred through that crossfire on the B bomb side, while also Rare Atom just not even contesting in the 2v2 retake. Like, obviously it is difficult to retake B, but it's just way too easy. 17-8, Salmon he was having a rough game at the beginning of Dust 2. He had a pretty rough end to Mirage, but he ain't doing too badly right now. And it's another opening kill for Rare Atom. I've got a feeling, though, this should get traded. And, ooh, this long take. Nope, Child King never gets traded. How is he still alive? And he's just pushing forward with the USP. Not like this, FengDa.
Yikes, man. To come through a round like the previous one in such an unreasonable scenario, to just get slapped out of existence by one Child King and an MP9. It's a bit of a rough one. And now they're so split from each other as well. Oh, man, if 3GL dies here, that's the bomb lost. And surely, yep, I mean, they must have heard that as well. So there's the barrel of the gun on top of everything else. A little bit of a spray to see if the second person is coming up. But nope. It was just one lonely 3GL with a bomb. And the bomb's been lost. P5P finally gets one for FengDa. But that's round. That's Rare Atom bringing things back into their control a little bit. And a fairly clean one as well. 4 people alive at the end of the round. Fantastic.
Yeah, that is one of those rounds that could shake the boat a little bit. I understand the call from FengDa. They want to get out long fast, but they don't do it with enough vigor in some parts, and then in some parts a little bit too much. Like, one player is very far away, there's no trades, and then kind of the rest comes scrambling in, but then it's Rare Atom who reacts. So Child King gets thrown a bone, and Summer just supports him magnificently. A catastrophe out and long. Just such poor tradings and such good support from Summer. We're in the Matrix, apparently. And that really just changed everything up, to be honest. what should have been maybe like a 10-7 lead for FengDa. Now they have no money because the rounds they've been winning have been pretty close. So they're down onto what is a 2 hero AK purchase. And Rare Atom, they win this 9-9 against an eco. That should be them reclaiming the lead. And it's going to be heartbreak for FengDa as they knew they had this map in the palm of their hands.
I'm not ready to call it just yet. We have been surprised by shenanigans a few times over the course of this series. Perhaps FengDa still have some sort of an ace up their sleeves. You see, Salmon's not here in towards B main. You know, if Salmon was here, then maybe I'd have some belief. But he's actually pulling up the mid presence. We've still got 3 strong outside here, waiting for that smoke to clear. Salmon walks straight into Tiger's crosshairs. And him off the board leaves them in a very precarious situation. And this good read from Rare Atom to 3-man stack this side. Oh my god, Tiger's missed the shot. Tiger's given them an in, but no, he manages to recover. And there it is, in tandem, beautifully done. They shut it down 9-9. And okay, maybe Rare Atom are going to take this to that 3rd map.
Honestly, really, really nice from Tiger. He has been impressing me immensely throughout this whole series. I wasn't really aware of him prior to today. I was thinking it's going to have to be a pretty big step up to replace the Shoes Akaze. And not gonna lie, he has got pretty good stats since his addition to this squad. Maybe some struggles recently, but that struggle aligns with just Rare Atom's performance in general. But in this series, he's continuing to try and be the reason why they're gonna close us out, or this map rather, send us to a 3rd. Double digits should be secured after this anti-eco, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. No kills, flawless. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, and now is the real test. Rare Atom are they just gonna fall apart like they did on Mirage?
Now, the scary part is that there is a world here where they just kind of start to hemorrhage rounds again. Where they just
Well, they beat the eco this time.
The bare minimum. They've done the bare minimum. You know that trend bare minimum princess treatment? Yeah, that's not the princess treatment, I'll be honest with you. That's the thing you should be doing. We'll see if FengDa can get their bare minimum here. Because for them, they need this round. If they want to be able to keep running in this map, they want an opportunity to try to close this out in the 2-0 fashion. This round really is the bare minimum. We'll change up our approach ever so slightly. Oh, Tiger. Tiger seems to just know. Round after round, he's always in the right place at the right time. And very shortly, heads are going to show themselves. It's a stunning flash, and the wide swing comes in massively. That's Tiger shut down. That's exactly the opening that FengDa needed. But look at this lurk. Somebody coming up the rear here. Marek perfectly activates, shuts down P5P. And now that is the equalizer. So they just need to stay aware of this. And what are they going to do? It's going to cause them to hit the accelerator. Li Hung trying desperately to play on the site here. Happy feet galore. Molotov comes out to try and flush him out a little bit, but it's 3GL who dies to the lurk. The lurk that they knew was there. Li Hung activates finally, and with Summer managing to bring this into a foregone conclusion. Chungking has to 1v2. I don't know how the hell he's gotten that kill. How has he done that? What? He just spams through the smoke. He had no right whatsoever. But 10-10 in the final dying embers of that round. FengDa give themselves the stay of execution.
Let's just watch this back. This is a 1v4. First kill, great. Second kill, that's a beautiful spray. Issue is, no bullets. Has to go for the reload. Look at this. That's so nice. You're not gonna, like, that wouldn't necessarily be picked up on. It's the movement. He feigns to the right and just quite literally dodges the bullets. That's pretty damn impressive, I'm not gonna lie. That is insane. A 1v4 ace to keep his team alive. FengDa, they're looking for the upset victory. They've challenged so many times. Rare Atom, who have qualified for the Star Ladder Budapest Major later on this year, they were a sure footing for the grand finals, looking to reattempt and get some revenge on the Huns, secure their second ECL Cup victory in the Asia Pacific region. But now, Tiger's got to make sure he doesn't just die on shore again.
Surely he's ready for the potential of that one. I think now if he gets flashed, he just falls off instantly. Yeah. I just not even going to wait for the flash.
Tempted, yeah.
Yeah. A little bit spooky, but scary. We're very close to Halloween here. Be aware of the spooks and the jump scares. I mean, we did see somebody die to a jump scare in the previous map. These things do happen. Marek's opened things up, however. Again, the same flank, man. And it feels like this time around they were aware of it. They were waiting. They had somebody watching, and he just lost his one. Now Marek can get in behind them. He's going to be able to pull up the rear here, potentially get a pincer in from long doors. But FengDa have started to make movements, so hopefully won't get caught out. Chunking dies to Summer. Salmon's going to clear that car position, tries to clear window, but not going to be able to. Meanwhile, Marek continues raining down terror, so P5P is left all alone now. Spots out two. What a shot from Tiger through the door. Rare Atom stabilized once more.
Okay, maybe that 1v4 is just honestly all for nothing, because it's FengDa being dropped down to a force buy, very just question marky in that gun round. It's the same with round 20. That 1v4 came and they should have never have won that round in the first place. It just came down to heroics, and I don't understand how Marek has got back-to-back flank kills. That feels a little bit egregious that they've not held for that. So it's a secured 12 for Rare Atom, or let's say this for Nico again. For a secured 12, which means it's overtime or a third map upon us in this series. And a real fumble from FengDa. Like, I think they're going to come away from this map and it's going to be rather disappointing. Like, sure, it's their opponent's map pick, but yeah, very disappointing as Tiger picks up somehow another 3K. That he's doing too good, man.
I'm pretty sure this is the closest series they've ever had against Rare Atom as well. Not just, because obviously they have taken a map off of Rare Atom before, but then the other two maps in that series were like 13-7, 13-5, Most of the time the series is like 13-10, 13-8, both maps going Rare Atom's way. So this is one of the closest series that FengDa have had. It's a real opportunity here for them. They can't really afford to squander this one. It's the furthest they've come in the cups as well. They normally kind of get knocked out way earlier on. So they can't let this slip through their fingers. It's maybe the last chance that they have to find themselves in that regional qualifier and have a chance at the Pro League. So this time around, Marek, you are not going to be allowed to pull the same shenanigans that you have been. You're going to be babysitting this long possession, these doors. Oh my god, but Tiger's here to back him up. This is outrageous. Tiger is so dynamic. You never know where the hell he's going to be from round to round. And Marek still wins that, bro. It's expected. They know it's coming. And he still gets that kill. And they're not backing away. They're going to try and push this a little bit. Or maybe not push it super aggressively, but hold on to it. They don't want to give up that space unnecessarily. Marek realizing maybe something might be amiss. Oh my god, throws the flash, gets caught right on the other side of it, not able to dip away. The Molotov on towards the catwalk means that it's going to be difficult, and yet despite that, oh, there's a gap. P5P is still good for one. He's traded, however, pulls the attention away, but the team is not quick enough to activate. They don't push through, the smokes come down, and 3GL has to somehow try and keep this going. Between him and Chunking, there's a lot to get done. Li Hung, however, has brought it down to a 1v2. Never you mind. Li Hung closes it out, and they've won the map for Rare Atom. It's a 1-1 series, and we're going to map 3.
Far, far too close for Rare Atom. This series, just in general, is the epitome of disingenuous cap.
Till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come.
2 maps down, 1 to go. Maybe we weren't expecting this to go all the way to a third, but here we are, Freddy. It's Inferno, and historically, this has been a little bit of a back and forth map for these two teams. So, I mean, if the series hadn't been back and forth already, I'd say we're in for an absolute barn burner.
Yeah, at the XE Pro League Shanghai LAN, which was basically the Asian RMR. Rare Atom, they played 3 games. They came second, ultimately losing to Kaleido in the final. They played Mirage in every single series and lost Mirage every single time. So they went 0-3. And at that LAN, one of the losses on Mirage was to FengDa. So it's a pretty ropey map, all things considered. Oh, sorry, we're on Inferno.
Yes.
Oops. Yep.
Everything you said is true.
Everything all I say is true. Just got the maps mixed up in my head for some reason. So yeah, as we go on to Inferno, there's a lot of question marks on Rare Atom. Not really sure what to expect. This feels like a very good opportunity for FengDa to try and isolate a victory. But had they got anything left in the tank after coming so close, but yet so far on Dust2?
Hopefully the victory on Mirage a little bit earlier on will bolster them a bit. And the fact that it was so close, you know, like, we can do this, guys. We just gotta pull it over the finish line. Now, this round has kicked off with a trade-off. Child King's offline, and he's been a big part of this Rare Atom shenanigan. Without him online, might make it a little bit more difficult. Salmon, you're actually just unfair. Shots through the smoke. He had an inkling. He knew that there were players there. The shots do connect. Can't get too much more done as Li Hang will find him and shut him down. Marek, always in these weird positions. Always an unknown quantity, so to speak. He's going to get chased down, but it does distract one of the CTs for a very long time. And the last one remaining now will be P5P. Knows that there's one player towards pit, is trying desperately to get that kill. But there are too many angles to cover, too many contingencies, and unfortunately cannot make that miracle happen. Rare Atom with a pistol round win on the T side.
Such a BS shot.
Yup.
Someone just gets domed. Luckily, it doesn't really mean too much, or that would have been a pretty annoying affair. Rare Atom, pistol round win. That proved to be very important for them on Dust2. They got a pretty good kickstart because of these opening rounds. And now just up against the eco. It's weird actually not seeing Force by Wars. It's been pretty manic in these opening stages of every single half, but it feels like we have a bit of normality as of now. Don't want to jinx it too hard.
Never know how long that's going to last. But perhaps, you know, onto the third map, realizing, all right, pressure's on a little bit now. And a reminder that this is obviously the lower bracket. So it's not like there's another safety net waiting at the end of a loss here. It's do or die for a shot at a spot in the regional final. Or a second spot if you're Rare Atom. You know, you get a little bit greedy with that one. So this should be a fairly simple one for Rare Atom. Don't think FengDa are going to do too much into this one. Maybe a couple of exits on the other side of it. But yeah, this is an important last map. And thankfully, we still do have a 4th cup, right? So it's not that it's the end of the world utterly. But I mentioned this in the previous map. And of course, it still stands true. This is the best performance that FengDa have had so far in any of the cups. So the chances of them replicating this success again in Cup number 4 might be relatively slim, although given the performance that they're having right now, maybe it's not so much of a, you know, impossibility. Maybe they still are in with a chance, but why take the chance if you don't have to?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty insane run from FengDa. Like, some of these teams are really impressive at the, you know, especially with Eruption and Kaleido. Kaleido, that winner of the XE Pro League Shanghai. And in general, FengDa, like, they're not a team that normally make super deep runs at events. So this is a very admirable performance for them. And they're putting themselves on the international stage map. Could do one more if they win out the whole cup. make it through to the regional qualifier now. Wouldn't that be a bit of surprise? Lin Vision, Rare Atom already secured their places. Rare Atom looking to secure a grand final place in it if they're able to get past this and past the Huns. This is very fast from the T side. Summer, yeah, rightfully so, completely catches Chen King off guard. And I almost feel bad for him a little bit. He had no idea Rare Atom were accelerating like that. And Marek playing with zero confidence. The 32-year-old who's been promoted into his best team maybe ever in his very long tenure. His first major is on the horizon. He's been around the block for a seriously long time. Salmon's making a real good case of this 1v2, but no kit. Surely this shouldn't be an issue. Hasn't got many bullets left in the magazine. Child King isn't peeking out, finally does. And okay, a 1v4. Not quite acquired. He came pretty close.
Certainly made a go of it. And we've had far too many of those rounds where make a go of it actually ended up in the most ridiculous clutch imaginable. Case in point, who was it on Dust2 that got the 1v4 ace at the last hurdle there?
At the end, that was Chen King.
Yeah, of course it was. Psh, why do I even need to ask? That just makes sense.
And the 1v4 at the beginning of the half, at the end of the first half was Liang for Rare Atom. There was two 1v4s, both on the A-bomb site.
Spicy. So this should be another round that just kind of falls to the wayside. I say that. I do hate when you guys prove me wrong within like 3 seconds of me making a sentence. Like, at least give it a few seconds, you know? Wait till the end of the round to tell me what a clown I am. But no, just the one kill. The recovered rifle's actually already been lost so quickly after being recovered. So that's unfortunate. Biuckmt will be able to pick it back up again, but I doubt that he's gonna meet up with his teammate. And P5P is, I mean, he's on an island here. There was no world in which he was getting out. So we'll just hold on to the AK into the next round. And that's about it.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
For now. I mean, Rare Atom had that amazing start on Dust2, and look how the map turned out ultimately. So I don't want to start getting like too excited and giddy just yet, because I've got overexcited for them previously, and look how that turned out for us. Tempering my expectations momentarily for the favorites, but Biuckmt doesn't look like he's going to be saving that AK, or if he does, it's going to be a challenge, and okay. He's able to at least snipe one down. And Rare Atom go 4-0 up. Not super clean though. Money isn't exactly overflowing. The coppers ain't that full just yet. And for FengDa, this is their second gun round. The first, they just kind of got caught off guard. So hoping to see if they can delve a little bit deeper into the strat book this time.
An important momentum shifter here, because as you said, with the money the way it is for Rare Atom, a win here for FengDa could really set them up for some success and maybe a little bit of a snowball. And that's why we're seeing them take a slightly more aggressive stance here, the boosted up position towards the top of Banana, to see if anybody gives themselves over. But no one's willing to peek P5P. So the stack will disassemble, and they'll move back to their original positions. It's good from Rare Atom, just kind of baiting out as much as possible, trying to get all of that util out as early as they can, while holding on to much of their own. We're gonna have a little bit of a fake scenario happening over towards A, a smattering of utility, a little bit of noise made. I'm unconvinced that's enough to sell a fake. The smokes will come through here, but they're not gonna land in time, so Salmon is gonna have the information really early on, and now with all the noise being made up towards the top of Banana, Chung King stands his ground, roots his feet in, manages to get that first onto Marek. His teammate falls, he swings, but Summer somehow gets them both. Spams through the smoke now, not quite connecting, unfortunately. Didn't even need to be a sold fake. All they needed was the slightest gap. They've taken it, And FengDa have to pull back, hold on to the weapons, and wait for the next round.
It's that B bomb site again, just being quite simply overrun. Atom. Nice opening kills. Marek paving the way for his teammates.
Sorry, did I hear horses on the map? I swear I just heard horses. Am I going mad? Am I having a stroke?
As in, like, describe. What do you mean by you heard horses?
Whinnying, like neighing, like doing the thing. I'm not going to do the thing because then people are going to think that I've lost my mind.
The thing.
No, I'm not going to do the... No, the rar. Please don't tell me your horse is rar. If your horse is rar, I hate to break it to you, but those are not horses.
I mean, you never know. It could be... They can identify and be special with whatever they want.
Okay, Freddy. All right, well...
But, I mean, there's a lot of aroma. A lot of sounds that's totally
Aroma?
Aroma? Is that not the right way?
That's smell.
Oh, well, there's probably that as well if there's horses around. After all.
Outstanding. Oh my god. All right. Just a smoke spray down from Salmon again. Salmon and Smokes have just been a really terrifying force. Marek's left all alone. But somehow this feels winnable for him?
Oh, massively. Especially considering that 3GL is so far away. He basically just has to secure and isolate his 1v1 on Biuckmt and then instantly be in a position to react to where 3GL is coming from. Tucked himself in the corner. Oh my god, how does he hit that? Biuckmt, that's a massive fumble. 3GL has a nade, but it's gone awry. He's upgraded to the AK. Would have been awkward on the orb, and he's just gonna stick. Smoke, spam, needs to come through. Marek spams missing completely, and alongside that, 3GL will just charge through and drop him. First round on the board in favor of FengDa, but it ain't clean and it ain't easy.
Certainly wasn't pretty either. That was very stressful to watch. Marek felt like he had such a strong opportunity there, but smokes and diffusers, it's such a difficult thing to maneuver, man. You gotta just spray and pray your way to victory, and this time around, not allowed to do that.
Didn't reload after the kill on Biuckmt.
You're not entirely sure where that last player is, right? Like, you got an inkling, he's probably closed the distance, but how close is he? And therein lies the rub. So you don't go for the reload thinking maybe you're not gonna have the time on the upshot. And it comes to bite you in the foot. I don't know why I said bite you in the foot, but there you go.
Which part of the body is it supposed to be? Bite you in the
butt.
Butt.
Yeah, I was trying not to say butt on broadcast, and now I've said it twice, so, you know, you can't walk that one back, folks.
I feel like saying butt on broadcast is definitely... could be worse.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was trying really hard not to cuss in one of our recent broadcasts because I was hard crashing out. Marek now trying to recover off the back of that last round, not being able to clutch that one. Salmon's still alive though. Salmon is a problem, but that problem has been dealt with by Marek no less. And off the back of losing one round, not willing to allow that to happen a second time, P5P is left all alone. He had a great performance on the previous map, and on this map, he just has not shown up yet.
Ooh, that's a ominous camera view. Sorry, I've completely thrown myself. So, aroma's the smell. Okay, sorry, is Pete... Wait, he's got a kit, he's got a smoke. Wait a second. Is there enough time for the defuse? I really don't know. It's going to come down to the wire. Oh my god.
Get out.
E5P. Now that is an old-fashioned ninja defuse.
Not one of these new age ninjas. This is proper. Wait till they've all exited the bomb site. Time it down to the perfect millisecond. The smoke on top, just in case somebody's hanging around. And the defuse at the very last possible moment. This is one of the few things that I wish that CS had that Valorant has, where it's got that like timer and you can see, oh, 0.02 seconds or something. You know, like it's just a really cool little... Does it? Oh, is it just a HUD thing?
Yeah, that is a thing.
Ah, we need that on the HUD, man. I want to be able to freak out about the 0.02 second defuse. But we don't have time to freak out because the next round is already upon us. Marek has made his way all the way up Banana. And the two kings have already fallen. If this were chess, that would be a stalemate. But it's not chess. It's better than chess.
Nothing can be better than chess.
Counter-Strike can be better than chess, Freddy. How dare you? Flash over the top. No, not a flash. That's a smoke. All right. Thought they were going to try and flash him off of his position. They smoked him off of his position. I guess. That works. There's the flash, and 3GL still there, man. Now, okay, chain flashes come through. They forced him off. But P5P gets his first kill off the back of a cheeky little defuse. How much more can he get? A second? Not going to be a third, unfortunately, but has made it a far more doable scenario. Salmon sprays down Tiger. Can't stop the bomb from being planted. Summer's got an AWP in his hand. Nope. Swaps back over to the AK. Not a terrible decision, I feel like, in a situation like this where you could very well be overrun by two full HP players who are now starting to close the distance hand in hand. They can play off of one another without too much to say about it. The first to come through, he predicts the second, but can't land the shots. Another defuse to come through. Another round for FengDa.
A tough pill to swallow there for Rare Atom, because annoyingly enough, it is the exact player that's caused you so much turmoil, Mr. 5P5, somehow on the back of that bomb site, just not dying. I don't quite understand how he survives for so long there. But either way, a massive mistake. They can't trade him. And then because it takes so long to kill him, the CT smoke's faded and the rotations have come through. FengDa, some miraculous rounds being won. Back-to-back smoke rounds on the board for them. And finally, one out in open play. Issue is Biuckmt. It has been decapitated very early on as an opening kill for Rare Atom. Shocking though, ventures maybe a little bit too far out.
Still got heavy presence over towards the A site now, and with that smoke popping down, it takes so long to bloom. So FengDa, they don't have to respect it. They realize there's absolutely nothing happening here. We're going to go on a little bit of a round-the-world adventure. Rare Atom, not knowing that the site is free and clear, means that it's going to slow them down. And I don't think anyone's checking for this. Oh my god, at the last second, Tiger turns around. Ooh, Marek, okay! Just a cheeky little collat through another person's skull. The 3GL is going to be left all alone now. He had started to make the rotation over, but sticks around and manages to get yet one more kill. Down to a 1v1. Marek knows where he is. Marek's already gotten 2 kills in this round. No! Oh, 3GL, where are you looking? Oh, that's devastating. That could have been a clutched out round, but it's Marek that comes up huge in the final moments.
32-year-old talent. Things you love to see. Salmon doing salmon things, but 100% should have got 2 kills there. And that should have been probably a FengDa round with the moves they were making. We knew Inferno was going to be sloppy, and so far it's really stepping up to that test. It's an eco though for FengDa. I don't see a kit, I don't see any smoke, so hopefully no ninja defuse. And it's kind of weird that we're going into basically what is like round 11 after this eco. FengDa have won all their rounds from isolated 1vx's, 2 smoke defusers, one a crazy ninja, and the other also a 1v1 just straight one out. So FengDa, they're keeping this close at times, but they're not actually winning like a round. You know what I mean? Like they're not they're not closing out like a clean default.
I mean, we're just keeping this very much. It's still one-sided. It's still scarily one-sided. As much as FengDa have had some like solid rounds, it's not enough. Exactly what you're saying. You need to see a little bit more out of them, a little bit more clean-cut counter-strike coming from them. 2 rounds remain. Now, we were in a similar scenario where I was like, they need 2 more rounds, and I believe they did actually do it. I think if I remember correctly, it was on Dust2, and they did get those last 2 rounds, that little bit of a breath of fresh air for the second half. So mayhaps they can replicate that now again. They've taken banana control completely. Chunking. Oh, he's disrespected the smoke. He's now up close and personal. Oh, I thought the timing on that was going to work and you might be able to get the bomb. Not going to be allowed. 3GL misses the shot. It's not often that we see that happen, but Child King gets traded out. Chunking and Salmon go extra hard in. And we're down to only 2 players left for Rare Atom, and they have, in fact, lost the bomb. That lurk activated in the perfect time. Not when I thought it would, but in the time where I think it probably would have had the most impact regardless. Now Chunking has to play very carefully. Does a lot of damage, loses his life, but Biuckmt is there. Gets the kill onto Summer. His position is known. Can he catch Liang with his back turned? Not with his back turned. Takes him face on. Wins it out. And FengDa up to 4.
I'm getting flashbacks to that first, to the second map. This feels very reminiscent of a FengDa Dust2, where it's like, okay, if we scrape together a few rounds at the end of this half, then we win the second pistol round, and we might be able to have something to say, have some sort of congestion. So right now, it all comes down to whether they're able to close out round 12. Biuckmt, a lovely double in the previous, but over-aggressive in apartments. Child King, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Alright, so who's gonna get fooled this time? Rare Atom with this numbers advantage now, trying to close out this 8th round. Don't want to let this slip away like they have done so many rounds before. So we keep it low and slow. Aware of the flanks. I like that we've had some really good responses from Rare Atom. I mean, how often don't we see... Oh my god, okay. That's unreasonable. They're looking for the flank down banana and nobody's checking for 3GL to just swing top mid. But he does get traded out, so that's going to open up the brackets position here, make things a bit more possible. Child King has already pushed his way up towards apartments. Has to be wary of Salmon. A double kill from Salmon here could be everything, but the chain flashes have forced him out of position. They'll shut him down, run him over. Chunking has activated that flank, but not going to be allowed to get results, and it's all going to be down to P5P. As that bomb starts to get planted, he'll get the first. But it's still an uphill battle ahead of him. So many players to cut through. He's brought it down to 2, but that's all he's going to be able to get done. An 8-4 half in favor of Rare Atom.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town. Oh.
Even though FengDa won our hearts by some really exciting rounds, it ultimately, unfortunately, doesn't really matter. Only 4 rounds at the half on the CT side of this decider and elimination map. Rare Atom now on the defense. I'm expecting to see potentially a bit of a masterclass from the likes of Tiger on the AWP, as he's had a wonderful series, but a slow T-side. And for FengDa, if there ever is a chance, it's this pistol round right here.
I'll give him more than a chance. Give him a lifeline, a possibility. Ooh. Chunking trying to make a little bit of noise over towards Banana, but that smoke's going to give him pause. Meanwhile, it's still a heavy stack over on towards the A site. Ooh, Summer's moving away. No, he's just moving under the window. Could get caught on the rotation. The flash comes out. Nobody's aiming for him just yet, but still, Biuckmt will get that first kill. P5P to follow it up quite nicely. Now Tiger, the only one left alive. He'll get his, but he'll be very quickly slapped back down. The final 2 players, bit of an uphill battle ahead of them here. Looks like FengDa should be able to walk away with this pistol. We go trade for trade on pistol rounds. And I'm very curious to see if Rare Atom are going to go for that same kind of force maneuver that they've done previously. We actually did comment that we didn't see a force in the first half. I was grateful for that. And I think FengDa were as well. But Rare Atom have been known to be a little bit cheekier with their economy, so perhaps we may yet see them invest into the next.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Rare Atom go for an aggressive purchase right here, like they have in so many different second round force buys. FengDa, though, it's exactly what I said, right? The only way that they win this map is through by at least winning pistol. The issue was, even though they got 4 rounds and a half, 3 of them were unsustainable rounds. It was like ninjas, clutches. So they only won 1 like proper through and through gun round, which makes me worried a little bit, but it will be that force buy from Rare Atom, as I was mentioning. It's not pretty, but I would not count it out, especially because Liang on the FAMAS, 16 kills. We've seen what he can do.
It's a game of hurry up and wait at the moment. Rare Atom don't want to get overly cheeky. I'm hearing a lot of sounds, a lot of noises all across. Now Biuckmt will clear. Oh, I thought he was actually going to go a little bit deeper on that one, but waits for the utility to come through before he actually does swing that. But again, Rare Atom still playing patient. With all of that noise being made, now they back away. It's a good follow-up smoke towards top Banana as well, so that might buy them a little bit of time if they do opt to make that rotation in. Marek, how does he keep doing this, man? Marek's been having a really solid map 3. It's been a little bit tumultuous in the first couple of maps, but in map 3, he's really, really stood up and taken some names. The rotations have already come through, so they have bought so much time. The MP9 double kill to get that extra little bit of cash in the bank. And FengDa, they may have won that pistol round, but they're not going to get too much more done. Rare Atom very quickly turn the tides back in their favor. 1 round away from double digits.
It's mental that they win out that second round with a flawless round as well. P250 gets the opening kill in middle, and then it's exactly what Rare Atom wanted to happen. They get that kill over towards A. They've already hunkered down the B bomb site. They've reinforced it even more. FengDa just walk into their crosshairs. Lackadaisically, they fall to the ground. And now it's their time to see if they can make and conjure up something with the Tech 9s. As Rare Atom, that could be the nail in the coffin. Their Inferno hasn't been the cleanest in history. It's been the only map that FengDa have been able to challenge them on. But looking at how that first half has gone and that second round conversion, I'm not too high on FengDa's chances.
See if my favorite kind of round comes to fruition. Rare Atom not really respecting the space here, knowing that it's likely to be some form of an anti-eco. It's the right call to make. Up close and personal. Salmon gets a team kill.
Oh, that's
Rare Atom will... Yeah, they'll tip their hats off for that one. Thank you very kindly. Oh my god, they don't even clear Li Hong. And he'll survive regardless. 2 kills on the tail end of that round. Bring Rare Atom up to 10. 3 away from closing out this series.
It's bringing up to 10. It's Liang getting 21 kills. It's FengDa being ecoed. Second round pistol, I was thinking, hey, this is the start of something more, start of something greater. And I couldn't be any more wrong. Not even salmon can save them. It's making me hungry. I kind of want some salmon after speaking.
Oh no thanks. Fish is not my vibe.
Oh, you know, okay, that's a shame.
Funnily enough, I do like sushi.
Okay, well, that's just idiotic.
Wow, that's really rude. What the hell? Toxic.
I don't like fish, but I love sushi.
Yeah, I like the raw fish, smothered in soy sauce and wasabi and covered in rice and, you know, seaweed.
You like salmon? Is that what I'm hearing?
I like raw salmon wrapped in rice and seaweed and covered in soy sauce and ginger and wasabi. It's like I only like avo on toast. I won't eat avo any other way.
It's like when people are like, oh, I don't like tomatoes, but we'll munch on a pizza.
No, I mean, I spent most of my life being like, I don't eat tomatoes, but I'll put tomato sauce on just about anything. But it's because tomato sauce is full of sugar, right?
So you literally hit 3 for 3 then. You've got this avocado and toast and pizza.
What? Where do we get to pizza?
You were literally just saying that, like, oh, I don't really eat tomatoes, but I'll get tomato sauce on, yeah.
Yeah, but tomato sauce is full of sugar. Tomatoes are not. Tomatoes are just like nasty water. It's tomato flavored water.
Wait.
Oh my god,
Okay,
Child
back to
King,
business.
come on. Between Child King and Marek, I don't know which one is more unreasonable. These flanks have been ridiculous.
It's the
Only
bomb as
2
well.
players remain. Yeah, Bomb's like chilling at bottom banana, so P5P knows he needs to recover it. That smoke's about to dissipate. He's
okay.
still able to get the kill onto Child King. But the thing is, his position is now known. The flying over the top doesn't connect. He's been able to recover the bomb and he can get the hell out of dodge. This is ridiculous. But now, keep your eyes on the CT spawn. Biuckmt waiting. Oh my god, stampeding his way through the CT spawn. Well, do they? They certainly have an inkling.
Yes.
I had an idea.
He got a kill in boiler like 30 seconds ago. Running.
That's not
with your
CT
orb is-
spawn, Freddy.
If he gets a kill in a boiler 30 seconds ago, you've heard the bomb going out of B. It's a pretty safe story that he's probably taken some sort of advanced position towards that A bomb site. Running in with your orb is just stupid because it's also unnecessary. Like, you have time to work with. You don't have to go in all guns blazing like that. It's a really big mistake, and also just a really big error that Rare Atom, where in that 2 versus 3, Child King gets 3 kills on the flank and drops the bomb, and yet they're still not able to properly take control of top banana or either trade out when P5P did collect the bomb. That's just a really messy round from Rare Atom after Child King has done so much to facilitate success.
That's unfortunate, man. It's a great recovery, all things considered. I maintain that just because somebody gets a kill in boiler doesn't mean they're going to be in the CT spawn. They could have gone anywhere. That's why I said it's an inkling. There's an idea. There's a formulation that maybe, but we're banking on it not being the case. And, well, we hedged our bets on the wrong damn horse, folks. A stay of execution now. One more opportunity to bring this into a more hotly contested scenario. And you know what? The last 2 maps have very nearly gone OT, so why not the 3rd as well? Why can't FengDa bring this all the way up to 11 rounds for themselves? Why can't they take this over the finish line? A little bit of damage done. Actually, no, not even damage, just pot shots. Nothing really connecting, so that's going to give away position. We're just running straight out into banana. Li Hong only good for the first before he's traded out. None of his teammates are there to try to back him up, so unfortunately, there's going to be no trade back. No answer to the damage that is done already. But all the utility laying down over towards the A site slows down the aggression. Gives Rare Atom an opportunity to reposition. Tiger with a nasty little swing leaves Marek out to dry as Marek swings out and gets shut down. And Biuckmt following it up beautifully. Child King now left all alone on the other side of the map. Has to bring up the rear. And once more in a clutch scenario. He's done so much for this map and for this series. Can he do much more? Do you even try? Maybe just hold on to the weapon. But no, it looks like he's going to give this the old college try. Unfortunately, he can't pull the same ninja maneuver that we saw previously because his position is certainly known. That bomb continues to tick down. If you can get a little bit of damage done here, that would be quite nice. And he does just that. Smoke on the bomb, waiting for the reswing. Gets the kill onto 3G, but knows that there's no time remaining. If that final player doesn't swing in front of him, I think there's a world. But because that swing comes through, because he has to stand and fight, he runs out of time.
I mean, hey, God loves a trier. And Child King, he single-handedly is keeping this game entertaining for Rare Atom. Unfortunately, though, unsuccessful. Ooh, okay. I'd say probably because of how costly it's been kept. Rare Atom, once again, don't have to go for the purchase. But they go, ass on it. 3 MP9s, a A1S, and an AWP. It's brazen. They did this on Dust2, and it actually worked out. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm gonna keep quiet until the end of the round. But the CT side already having to rotate A because Tiger, he's basically all by himself with Marek. They started 3 towards B. The rotations aren't gonna get here in time, and those rotations also are a little bit unnecessarily active. They are careless coming through long. They try and flood onto the bomb sites, but tunnel vision in. And the force buy going awry due to a fast play from FengDa and the 2 players on A not being in a position where they can actually buy time and play together, but rather very active and very solo.
Starting to see signs of the same Rare Atom that we saw on Mirage?
Everywhere?
Mirage was Dust1. Yeah, you got a point, I was thinking very specifically about like the first half of map 1, which I think was Mirage. It feels like it was a lifetime ago. But yeah, Dust2 map 2, all the Dusty maps today. We finish things off on Inferno, the holy trinity of maps, as I like to call it. Is this really where Rare Atom allow this entire series to slip through their hands? We came into this at an 8-4 half. And while Rare Atom were able to get a little bit of momentum going for themselves early on, FengDa have managed to string 4 rounds together. Not consecutively. It's been a little bit here or there, a little bit hit and miss. But they forced Rare Atom back down onto somewhat of an eco. Child King has the 1 AK that they kept from the previous. A couple of upgraded pistols here. Not much more to write home about. Lihang has really stepped up in this map. It's kind of interesting to see how players are performing better or worse depending on, which map we're on. And that often does become a thing. Like, Chunking has been a I was going to say a non-issue, but like a non-factor, I suppose, on this map. Whereas he was instrumental in the first couple of maps. But it's good to see that the rest of the players are able to kind of fill in those gaps a little bit here and there. As the aggressive push starts to come in towards top banana once again. Okay, Lihang. Gets halfway down banana, sandwiched between 2 T's. Wasn't even him that got the kill, it was Child King.
Never
just baiting for his teammates.
Expect your next move.
If I don't know what I'm doing, they can't know what I'm doing.
A lot of utility use top banana to try and clear the space. They do. And I wonder what Child King does. His AK. Is it going to stick around in CT? Yes. Ooh, but he's making a lot of noise. They will hear this most likely. Marek on triple isn't going to get any of this forewarning. So Child King, yeah, just going to walk out. Never expects them to be so advanced. And I just don't really get that from Child King. He goes from coffins to CT to coffins. I don't know if I didn't see any utility that he picked up. So he basically just runs around, goes on a little marathon, and dies because of it. So a round that I don't think was ever supposed to be dangerous, but one that we have seen throughout this series. Less has done more. So a hero AK certainly could have packed a punch, could have done some damage, because Rare Atom, they still need to win 2. So if they do damage here, win the next, at least then maybe when they're on 12, they'll up against a lower buy. But FengDa, a very easy anti-force buy. They're going to go to 9, and it's Rare Atom in the crosshairs as they have let this game slip to a 2-round affair.
That's rough, man. I mean, it's one thing when you start at a massive deficit and you can start to kind of close that gap, right? And FengDa have found themselves in that scenario a couple of times today. But when you have that massive lead and you're so close to closing it out, and to just watch as those rounds continue to slip through your fingers. And it doesn't feel like they're not trying anything. I mean, we are seeing a little bit of push and pull happening. They're trying to take that banana control. The problem is that it's looking a little bit messy, and FengDa are doing a really good job of stabilizing, even when they do lose out early on. You can tell the desire in this team to keep fighting back. I said a little bit earlier, this is a team that's got a little something to prove, a statement to make. So close to potentially doing that. Nobody expected them to win the first map. We had an inkling that maybe this last map would be a bit of a closer affair. It has gone a little bit back and forth between the two teams, and as we mentioned, FengDa won it on a LAN recently. Trying to channel that same power that they showed. But it's going to be Tiger that opens up this round. Biuckmt not going to be allowed to participate in the rest of this one. P5P has found himself in a solid position up towards apartments. And with the 2 players spotted, they have now pulled the rotation across. But the bomb's making its way over towards A. Oh my goodness. The counter mind games are just not going the way either one of these two teams realistically want it to.
There's not much util. Like, Free GL has the smoke double flash. There's another flash on 5P5 and a mollo on Salmon. That is it. They might get onto the bomb site, but the post bomb's going to be really difficult. Luckily for them, because it's taken so long, Liang's already rotated away from the B bomb site, and so is Child King. Tiger's the only player here, and look how aggressive he is.
All right, well, that smoke does come through to cover the car scenario. Oh my god, Tiger's in the same spot he's been the whole time, but Child King gets caught on the rotation in.
Oh my god.
Tiger, what a nasty. What? Hello? Go on, King. Go on, King. Tiger burning bright. A 5th kill, an ace to clutch that round for Rare Atom. That is unreal.
That is ridiculous. They jump out of apartments, no one clears short. So that's the first kill offered up, and then from that point onwards, he goes Super Saiyan. That is just a mental round to be pulling out the bag. That's exactly what Rare Atom needed. A hero to step up. And Tiger, he's had a pretty rough Inferno. He had 8 kills before that round. And a pretty great series for him. It was looking rather disappointing, but he's not disparaged. And he might actually need it again, because Chen King and Liang, they're holding hands in the top banana smoke. I'm actually quite surprised to see that Summer rotates away. Liang didn't exactly have the presence. It's not like they had control. So all of that, Tiger, it's for nothing. Instantly lose the B bomb site next round.
All right then, Salmon. Fair enough. Not entirely sure how the hell he manages to get that round 1 right, but we take those. The crossfire setup there coming in massively, and of course this is going to just be... Well, it is Inferno. We needed a couple of save simulator rounds, so this will just have to be one of those. FengDa looking to maybe hunt this a little bit. I don't know if they hunt so far as the A bomb site. I think it's more a case of like, if while escaping the bomb we happen to run into a CT, well then we'll happily deal with it, but not going to be going looking for anything unnecessarily. Their money's not exactly in a solid position either. 1 more round. 2 more to get us to overtime, but baby steps. 1 foot in front of the other. Rare Atom have 2 chances now to close this out in regulation. Can they do it? With money looking the way that it is now, if they lose this next round, OT is almost... It's almost guaranteed.
I don't want to say I don't want to say anything's guaranteed currently in this series because by Jove, it's mental. It's chaos. 3 starting towards the B bomb site. Marek holding flashbangs and smokes to support, but it's gonna be Tiger to activate with the opening kill on the AWP. Nades are good. Nades do damage, but Liang just swings to his grave. Back-to-back rounds where he's been the first casualty for the CT side on top banana, and now that opening kill doesn't matter anymore. Tiger, though, they're going to come into his crosshairs. They're executing onto B. Full steam ahead. Smoked off. It's all down to Marek. Do they know he's on this bomb site? Head spotted. Salmon tries to leap through the air, but he gets pincered down. There wasn't a CT smoke? What? Why not? And because of that, it slowed down the time. 2 versus 3. Post plant coming in. This is for the series for Rare Atom, but for FengDa is to keep their head above the water.
As that time continues to tick away, surely they don't actually try to go for this. Surely we're not trying to make a break for it. Not with our economy looking the way that it is now. Tiger, the last one alive on the bomb site. Not for much longer. Ooh. An attempt was made. We're not going to get any results off the back of that. All that being said, they are still able to buy into this next one. So a calculated risk. And had it paid off, well, they would have been absolutely laughing. But it doesn't. And so now we go into the final round of regulation. And this has been where the stopper has been in the last couple of maps. 13-11. We go no further. Gandalf shows up in his shiny new white robe. Does not allow advancement. So can Rare Atom channel that energy now? Lacking a little bit in the utility, but still enough to get them through this round if they can make it decisive. Not going for the cheeky, aggressive plays like we've seen before. They know they can't afford to make a mistake. They have to keep this as clean as possible. And so we wait. Don't want to get baited by any fakes. FengDa have made a few of those attempts, and Rare Atom have found themselves on the back foot in a lot of rounds because of it. And as we see the push up, banana chunking back into the grave. Tiger opens it up. It's not the first time that he's got an opening kill, but we need to see more off the back of that. We need to see something blossom from that opening kill.
Is this deja vu? Just replace Marek with Liang on the back of the bomb site. Tiger, if he's not flashed off accordingly, this is his moment to shine. But if he gets smoked off or flashed off, he doesn't have the utility to necessarily support Liang. And here it comes, and he's just completely forced off. He has to fight through this smoke.
HE to clear. Oh, beautiful. First one connects. Spots out the second player. The spray on that one's not quite connecting, but has given over the information to his teammates. Summer now lost in the sauce a little bit, trying to deny that plant. His teammates are so far away, and they have to get through Tiger. Sorry, not Tiger. 3GL, in fact. And now they can't do it. They can't regroup. Summer all alone on this bomb site. Not much longer for this world. Finally, after 2 maps, we will get our overtime.
Just a crazy fumble on back-to-back rounds towards the B-bomb site, and 3 rounds in a row where Liang just does absolutely nothing on that side of the map. I really don't get how Liang has that good of a game, just that good of a series, and then when it matters the most, is the first player to fall on top banana twice in a row, and then when he's defending the B-bomb site, equally doesn't get a single kill. Tiger certainly maybe should have expected the smoke to be broken there, but that is a colossal blunder from FengDa. Oh, sorry, from Rare Atom, and I am shocked that we have got into overtime. Rare Atom should not be struggling against a team of this caliber, and they have completely thrown away their lead of Inferno. It's crazy to think this team's prepping for the major against the best teams in the world, and this is currently the level of Counter-Strike that they are displaying. An 11-5 choke, and it all started because, well, Tiger didn't expect Biuckmt in CT, and somehow Child King's backstab 3K didn't result in a round win. Tiger does this, he gets an ace, and they still don't win the map.
Yeah. A lot of heroic plays that have just kind of kept the sands ticking over, but not quite enough to make it dominant by any measure. The fact that FengDa have done so well to keep themselves in this when you've got Chungking who hasn't even hit double digits yet, and we're at the end of regulation. Obviously, I don't want to dog on the guy too much. He's had a phenomenal performance in the first couple of maps, but he has been a little bit absent in this one, and despite that, FengDa are still putting up a massive fight. And again, it speaks to the tenacity of a team who come into this as the underdogs, who come into this as the unexpected variable. No one really thought they were going to be able to take this series away, and yet here they are fighting tooth and nail, never willing to give up for even a moment. Into the first round of overtime. My God, that is util damage. And despite that, Chungking and 3GL tearing their way through. But with all the damage done, Child King can just do a little bit of cleanup. 3 versus 3 now. The dust settles in Banana. Both teams retreat to lick their wounds. Nope. 3GL gets a little bit cheeky and gets sat down for his hubris. The last 2 players now will start making their way in towards the A site, but the rotations have already come through. Biuckmt gets that first kill. Now it's Marek alone on the site. Everything to play for here. Does he realize he must have heard the steps? Knows that there's one there. Can't isolate, unfortunately. The bomb is going to get planted. And Tiger now, I mean, we've seen him ace with an AWP. We've seen him with some of the quickest flicks in the West. Or the East as it happens. But he's got to isolate 2 fights now. The crossfire is immaculate. And every angle that needs to be checked is so tight. This 50-50, so difficult. Checks the wrong one. And it's FengDa finding a lead for the first time in a hot minute. They take the first round in overtime.
When was the last time, actually, they took the lead?
I'm not even entirely sure.
No, they've never had the lead. This is the first time they have had the lead in this third map. And it quite literally comes in overtime. That is mental. They were down, what was it, 11-5? 10-5? Yeah, that was the steepest. I think it was, 11-5 and then 12-9. And they fight their way back in. Resilience. An understatement. And even though Tiger's hitting his stride with this orb, and he's getting so many opening kills just like this round, ordinarily I'd say, yeah, you know, great advantage, 5v4, that almost locks in the round. As a T side, they lose such a key piece so early on. Well, it's happened too many times now, and they've lost upon it, that I don't want to jinx Rare Atom, but this time Marek at least is looking a little bit better, and Tiger, he's getting a lot for his buck. And Chen King, last alive, bombs down in pit. No way, right?
Would take some freakish heroics. And with the chunking that we've had so far on Inferno, I don't think that those heroics are going to come to fruition. So this should be us just kind of moseying our way through onto the next round. Evened out scoreline once again. I had kind of, like, Mandela affected myself into thinking that FengDa had won the first pistol round. I went back and I double-checked. Nope. That was Rare Atom. Started off with an absolute tear before we saw that first round come through for FengDa. So yeah, that was the first lead that they'd had. And 1 round later, it slips away from them. Tiger, not the highest fragger on the roster, but we often talk about how it's not always about the most frags, it's about the impact. It's about how much of a difference are you making with the frags that you do get. Tiger's name has been on our lips so consistently throughout this map because he has been impactful. He's done some magical things to keep Rare Atom alive and kicking in this series. We're gonna have to step that into overdrive now. And it looks like he's going to be challenged once more. It's Lihang to get the opener, and Tiger to follow it up with the second. FengDa already within moments. Blink and you miss it. 2 players have already been snatched away from them. And they seem entirely uncertain of what they want to do at this point. There was a bit of an angling over towards A, but the bomb was still chilling towards Banana. They were so split from one another, and they realized, all right, well, looks like the A site isn't really going to work for us, particularly since Tiger is right there. We don't really want to have to deal with that. So we pivot. We move towards the B side, but this is still 2 players strong. And that smoke's going to buy a little bit of extra time, so they can start calling in a rotation at any moment if they want to.
I mean, Child King has got the whole of brackets control. There's been no congestion here. I'm surprised he hasn't rotated over, especially considering Rare Atom have no util. So Liang, is he going to get checked on the boost? That Child King rotation is here. There is a smoke up, but he might try and bait some presence. Bait in Liang. Here comes the execute. Summer out in the open, secures the first kill. 20 seconds, time's ticking down. Liang drops the bomb, and it's all down to 3GL, and through the smoke he falls. And as soon as FengDa take the lead, it gets ripped away as Rare Atom now go on to the attack, 1 to the good.
Around and round we go. Where we stop, well, nobody knows for quite certain, but it's definitely feeling like Rare Atom might be getting closer and closer to closing this out. Double AWP setup from FengDa. Okay. It's not often we get to see that on Inferno. And with good reason. This is already the save simulator map.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of the few maps that I think it kind of works. B and A, and hey, Chain King, he quite literally goes through the fire and the flames. I do find it amusing that his teammate PSP, P5P, PSP is a different player, P5P is standing there with a smoke, just like, oh, you're doing well there, buddy. Oh, you know, you've lost 60% of your HP, but hey, you got the kill.
Fine.
You're fine. Just scratch it off. Just walk it off.
It's only a flesh wound.
It's only 5 to 3rd degree burns.
No.
Does it go any higher than 3rd?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Pretty sure that's the maximum. But if it gets bad enough, I'm sure we could create a new one.
I'm sure there will be something. There's allowances.
All right, Chungking, you've already shown your mettle with 1 kill so far. Make it a second. Get smoked off. That allows him to reposition. Thank you kindly, P5. Hand over another little piece of util. You just keep me alive and swimming.
What a nade.
Chunky.
Salmon's
Exec
here as
util
well.
now. Yeah, buddy. We've now reinforced and bolstered, but the smokes have come down to block the sight lines. The exec's a little bit slow to come through. The flashes have already cleared, but Summer and Marek have just slammed through the defensive line. Summer in particular does so much. I'm not even sure how he gets that much done. Now he's pulled back towards Banana to try and deal with the potential of a flank. Spots the first, can't quite connect it onto the last, brings it to a 1v1. But Biuckmt now must contend with the AWP of Tiger. And the position is not known. He has to try to figure this out. And of course, Tiger knows exactly where he is. Could just hold his metal. It's that little bit longer as the bomb continues to tick away. Biuckmt still needs to find the bomb. Never mind the last player. Moonwalking his way through the side, trying desperately. He thinks he's cleared it. He's on the bomb. And Tiger says, sit down. We're up to 15.
Sorry, the balls on Tiger there to not hold the angle, but to rather play Ring Around the Rosies. Jesus, that man has got ice in the veins. But Summer, as you rightfully mentioned, he's killing everybody and his teammates. He don't care about nothing. If you're on the screen, you're going down. And Rare Atom, they've been here before, however, though. 3 opportunities on map point in regulation went awry. They've now got 2 more to go. 5 in total it would be. And they did all of that with a 4 versus 5. So surely they can do anything.
It's just 1 round left. 1 final hurdle to clamber over. for that rematch against the Huns. Trying desperately to clear out every little angle we can. We haven't gone into too much map control here. FengDa have done a really good job of maintaining that control towards Banana. Admittedly, because, well, Rare Atom haven't actually been pushing it. So they've given that over very much for free. Taking a little bit of damage in the interim. But now we start getting that control up towards brackets. The smoke towards the left side. But the Molotov pushes them back. Now they have to be wary of that smoke clearing. Nothing spotted out, but there is a crossfire here. P5P should not be swinging that. Have faith in your teammate in Library to hold you. But unfortunately gets a little bit over eager there. Chunking gets the kill onto Li Hang. And slowly but surely, the remnants of Rare Atom will start making their way. No, they're going to pivot. The smoke in front of Library allows them to turn around. They've got a hold for Salmon. Salmon is a problem. They will shut him down finally, and they can start making their way over. But surely this has been called. Surely Chunking is ready and waiting. Orp still in hand. The first shot does not connect. He's forced off of his angle. Can't get the kill on the re-swing. And not like this. With bomb planted, 3GL and Biuckmt have so much to do. And Biuckmt's already been shut down. 3GL can't get the trade on the swing. Tiger's just too fast to slip away. Caught between two players now. And again, in this 50-50 scenario, there's so much to do. Every angle to check. Every possibility to consider. He's being jiggled, spots the shoulder. That may call for the re-swing. He tucks into the corner, taps onto the bomb, waits for the push, but it's Summer from behind to get the final kill. Rare Atom, by God, did they do it the hard way. But finally, they take the series in a 2-1 fashion.
That is mental that Rare Atom have to firstly win this out in a 3-mapper, but also needing an overtime on Inferno. It took